been out of it for 3 years, and I'm putting together my first staff. What do? I go get Todd Golden, a guy that had incredible character, incredible intellect, understood the game, played the game. And you know what? When you hire people, you want to judge me by the people I surround myself with. And so that was so significant that Todd came and joined me, a brand new staff, stayed with us a couple of years. He learned a lot. And then, obviously went out and the rest is history. The only other time that we bumped in was when the Florida job opened. And I was like, I got a few phone calls from some ADs around. I said, I'm just telling you right now, good luck finding somebody better than Todd Golden.
Well done, brother. Good luck and enjoy.
Hey, thank you.
Now that roar you hear as we bring you back courtside of the Alamo Dome is Todd Golden's team running onto the floor. The Florida Gators from the near left side taking up those 4 steps to get up onto the court in front of this Alamo Dome crowd that is settled in to watch the tip of this Final Four here in about 13 minutes. We welcome back in PJ Carlissimo. And PJ, you've got Bruce Pearl, right, mid-60s, as you pointed out, has been doing this for a very long time. So starting in Southern Indiana, Todd Golden, 3rd year at Florida. What do you make of this coaching matchup?
It's a fantastic matchup. They're so close. If we wrote this script, Jay, it wouldn't sell in Hollywood. They'd say, no way, that can't happen. It's got to be believable. It's not. Todd Golden's best friend in coaching is Bruce's son, the defensive coordinator, Stephen Pearl. He's such a talented young coach. He learned a lot from Bruce. Bruce knew right away, though, what a great talent Todd was. It's a fantastic matchup. You got 2 teams in the same conference that know each other very, very well, and they know their biggest challenge is stopping the great player, Janai Broome and Walter Clayton Jr., on the opposite sideline.
It is the Auburn Tigers now the recipient of the roar from the crowd. The Auburn Tigers and their pom-poms to the left side of the floor. They are up there on the court taking their last couple of shots here, PJ. And again, we're going to get this game going here in about 10. I know you can't wait. This is Candyland.
Exactly right. I'll tell you what. Another interesting thing, we talked to John Shire about it yesterday. Didn't talk to the other coaches. You hate coaching up on the stage like that. You can't communicate with your assistants. You can't talk to the players. You feel like everybody's looking at you. You're sitting on a chair. You're trying to act natural. It's so different than what you do all year. The only good news is if you're doing that, you're playing right. A monster game right now.
Something that you once got the chance to do, to coach in that national championship game back in 1989. Well, the stage is set. The coaches on both squads are up on the floor. Players are back to their respective benches, and everyone in this building is getting settled in for what could be 2 absolutely fantastic ball games. It is Florida-Auburn, Houston and Duke. And when we come back, we'll go back courtside for the keys to game number 1 in this all-SEC matchup between the Tigers and the Gators. Tip-off in about 10 minutes. You're listening to the Men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the 2nd largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Lowe's knows how to freshen up your yard, and it all starts with mulch. That's why we're introducing Mulch Week during Springfest with can't miss savings. Right now, get 5 bags of Stay Green Premium Color 2 cubic foot mulch for only $10. Plus, members earn 5 times the points on select mulch purchases all week long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/9. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, huh?
My brother got life insurance from Ethos and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Listen up, fellow Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here.
The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. Let's do it again and get vaccinated, because we're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit VaxAssist.com and schedule a vaccine today. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed sponsored jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
The NCAA Men's Final Four. Every whoop, high five, shout, and holler gets your team one step closer to the promised land. Any questions?
Professor, are we ready?
You prepare to open a can of fandom and cheer like you've never done it before? Oh, you're ready. We're cutting down some nets now. The NCAA Men's Final Four, April 4th and 6th, 2026 in Indianapolis. Apply for seats today at ncaa.com/men's final four.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships.
Welcome back to the Straight Talk Wireless set here in San Antonio. I'm Jason Horowitz. You need more data so you can stream your jam mix on loop? Switch to Straight Talk. Get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. The lights are down. It is definitely showtime here in San Antonio. I'll be back at the half with my partner, Nick Ball. We'll go over the first half action, plus get you ready for game number 2 between Houston and Duke. But right now, it's time to set the stage. It's an all-SEC matchup. Downstairs to Kevin Kugler, Robbie Hummel, and PJ Carlissimo.
All right, Jason Horowitz, thank you so much. We are ready to get this one started. The two teams are going to be introduced. Florida to our right, Auburn to our left. Everybody standing in the Alamo Dome to get just a little bit closer to these two teams. As we get closer to tip-off, it's time for the keys to the game. Sponsored by Realtors. Buying a home can be a lot, but with the ethical expertise of a Realtor, you don't have to do it alone. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. All right, let's start with Robbie. What do you see for each of these two teams?
Well, I think for Auburn, you certainly have to rebound. 14th in SEC play in defensive rebound percentage. In the only meeting this year between these two teams, 40-40 on the glass. The Auburn Tigers had 15 offensive rebounds. They've got to give that type of effort tonight with Florida, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in all of college basketball. And then for the Gators, you have to show bodies at Janai Broome. First game, he goes for 18, 11, and 6 assists, but they did a good job of making him inefficient. 8 of 19 from the field. You got multiple guys they can throw at him. Florida's got to come at him in waves.
PJ Carlissimo, what are your thoughts as we get ready for game one?
Well, for Auburn, it's transition defense. Florida gets up and down the floor. They're such a great rebounding team. Robbie talked about that. They get up and down the floor. Number 2 in the country in fast break points. You had better get back and make them attack your set defense. Florida has got to take care of the ball. They're averaging over 13 turnovers a game in the NCAA. That has plagued them. If they do that and allow Auburn to get some points off their turnovers, it's going to be a long afternoon.
The Auburn Tigers, the Florida Gators, a ticket to the national championship game on Monday night awaits. The opening tip-off of the national semifinal between Auburn and Florida is coming up. You're listening to the Men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need new rotors.
When you buy 2 Duralast rotors during our spring sale, you get Duralast brake pads free.
Free?
With the rotors,
Well, that's great. What if I need extra stopping power?
you can upgrade to Duralast Gold pads for just $10.
So Duralast pads are free,
Yep,
and an upgrade is just $10?
that's right. Part of the spring sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed sponsored jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
To our right, the Florida Gator cheerleaders welcoming the Gators onto the floor. To our left, Auburn players and their cheerleaders getting ready for their starting lineups to be introduced to this crowd here in San Antonio. Everyone standing moments away from tip-off. The electricity in the air and the tension as these two teams play for a chance to go to the national championship game. Let's check the starting lineups, sponsored by Cintas. Work days are better when you partner with Cintas. Keep your team protected, prepared, and looking great. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday. Let's start with the Florida Gators, and it all starts with Walter Clayton Jr., the 6'3 senior, averages 18 points, 4 assists, nearly 4 rebounds per game. Joined in the backcourt by Will Richard, 13.5 points, 4.5 rebounds per game for the 6'4 senior. The other guard is Elijah Martin, the FDU transfer in his second Final Four, 14.5 points, 5 rebounds per game. Up front, Alex Condon, the 6'11 sophomore from Australia, 11 points, nearly 8 rebounds per game. And Ruben Chinyelu in the middle, the 6'10", 260-pound sophomore from Nigeria for Todd Golden's third Florida Gators team. For Bruce Pearl's 11th Auburn Tiger team, it really does start with Janai Broome, the SEC Player of the Year this season, coming off 25 points, 14 rebounds against Michigan State. Broome averaging a double-double, 19 points, 11 rebounds per game. He is joined in the front court by Chad Baker-Mazara, the 6'7 senior from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, 12.5 points per game for Baker-Mazara. And Dylan Cardwell, the 6'11, 255-pounder, 5 points, 5 rebounds per game. In the backcourt, Miles Kelly. Kelly, the 6'6 senior from Stone Mountain, Georgia, 11.5 points per game. And Denver Jones, SEC All-Defensive Team member this year, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists per game. Our referees, Roger Ayers, Tony Padilla, and Courtney Green. And before tip-off, we rejoin our courtside reporter, Andy Katz.
Well, Kevin, throughout the course of the warm-up, I was watching Janai Broome very closely. He went through a normal, full warm-up. I asked him, "You okay?" Gave me the thumbs up. Remember, it was just on over the weekend on Sunday when he fell on that elbow against Michigan State, and everyone was holding their collective breath. He came back in the game, didn't practice the first part of the week, did when he got here. He is good to go. SEC Player of the Year. We're ready to go at tip-off.
All right, Andy, good news for Auburn as we get set for the opening tip, sponsored by AutoZone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone. The Florida Gators in the road blue uniforms tonight. Orange numerals on the front and back. White and orange striped trim on the sides of those blue jerseys and blue shorts. For Auburn, it is the home whites, tops and bottoms, orange stripe ringing the bottom of those white shorts. The Auburn logo on the side of those white shorts. And the blue numerals trimmed in orange as we get set for basketball on the biggest stage, the 2025 NCAA Men's Final Four. Dylan Cardwell standing at half court, arms in the air in silent prayer, awaiting the moment where the ball will go in the air and the Final Four will be underway. Robbie Hummel, what a moment. The minutes, the seconds before that ball is tipped.
It's all about the nervous energy. And whether you're running around on the court, whether you're gathering your thoughts, whatever you're doing, you need to savor this moment. Janai Broom running around right here. This is as big as it gets in our sport. And you've got two heavyweights here ready to do battle.
From Morehead State to the Final Four, Janai Broom is ready. Florida is ready. Auburn is ready. These fans are ready. Let's play some basketball. Hopefully Roger Ayers is ready soon because he's the one who's going to be tipping up this basketball and getting us started.
Yeah, but he's got the guy across from us holding the fist up. He's in control across the way. Oh, we got a one.
That's
we got
the
a
first
horn.
horn. One more horn, and tip-off will occur. If you're driving right now, try to keep your car on the road with the anticipation. There's the second horn, and now Roger Ayers blows the whistle. We're ready to get it started. Ruben Chinyelu, Dylan Cardwell, center of the court. Roger Ayers is ready. He dribbles 3 times. The ball is in the air. The tip tipped around, batted by Broom, and it's controlled by Auburn. They set up in the right-hand offensive zone. This is Denver Jones dribbling middle of the floor. Pushes the pass over to the left-hand wing, and Baker Mazzara tries to enter it into the post. It carries right back out to it. Kelly, middle of the floor now. Starts it to Broom. First touch for Broom, working against Condon, trying to back him down, left block extended. One hard dribble, a second, a third, really pounding the dribble with that right hand, trying to clear space with his left, fades away in the lane for 2.
It was one-on-one coverage in the meeting back in February. That's what that is right there. And that's just Janai Broom. That's his counter. Get to that turnaround jumper over the left shoulder.
Condon at the top of the key will start things off. The handoff to Clayton. Contested 3, and it falls. And the Stars shine early. Broom 2, Clayton 3.
Well, you better chase Walter Clayton off screens, off dribble handoffs. If you're a little bit behind, he's going to make you pay 45% from 3 and 4 NCAA tournament games.
Denver Jones now, top of the key. Starts it over to Baker Mazzara around the Cardwell screen. Dumps it down to Cardwell, who slams it home with 2 hands, and a 4-3 Auburn start.
A great pass right there. Chad Baker Mazzara is just flying off that pin down. You got to help to take away his jumper. He's hitting the big on the roll.
On the left-hand offensive zone, Florida will set it up. Elijah Martin on the wing. Ball swatted out by Kelly as he brings it into the paint on the right side. Up top to Condon, shot fake. He'll drive left side of the lane, working against Janai Broom. Backing him down into the paint, turns, little shot fake, right-handed hook is short. Good defense by Broom, and gets the rebound. Chad Baker Mazzara up the near sidelines. Powder blue shoes for Baker Mazzara as he dribbles into the right corner, launches the 3, it pinballs out, and the rebound loose. Cardwell had it, lost it out of bounds on the baseline. It'll belong to Florida. So the Gators and Tigers just getting their feet wet in this Final Four. 1:45 in, a 4-3 Auburn lead.
We talked about the key for Auburn to be rebounding, but you look at the way that the Tigers can get to the offensive glass as well. And in the first meeting this year, they did just that. 15 offensive rebounds, led to 22 second chance points. Both teams got to be sharp on the defensive glass.
Condon will dribble, and a pass intercepted. He tried to hit a cutter on the baseline. Baker Mazzara comes up with the basketball. Ahead to Kelly. 3 on the left wing. Pinball's off, no good, and Condon the rebound. Big man will try to push it a little bit for Florida. Gets across the timeline, finds Clayton. Clayton dribbling left wing. A hard bounce to Richard on the baseline. To Condon crashing down the middle of the lane, and as he goes up for the shot, Condon is fouled. It'll belong to Denver Jones, his first personal foul. And Alex Condon going to the free throw line on the year, just a 60% shooter.
But that all happens, Kevin, because of the reputation of Walter Clayton. You've got 3 Tiger defenders that are running at him, that gets their defense in rotation. Great drive on the baseline. You're dropping off, and Alex Condon draws the foul.
At the line for 2 for Condon. First free throw, no good. Robin Hood Gold gets you a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions. The new gold standard is here. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold.
Something to get Alex Condon's offense going. Had that ankle scare in the Maryland game, but 3 straight games now in single-digit scoring. 6 points a game. Second free throw was good. He has rebounded, but they need his offense. He played great in the game back in February against Auburn.
17 points, 10 rebounds in that game. A double-double for the Gators. 4-4 our score. Jump the pass up to Broom. Back it goes to Kelly. Left wing, 3, dies, left iron. Broom there. Offensive rebound, and he puts it back off the window and in. 6-4 Auburn.
And so far, it's been Auburn asserting themselves on the offensive glass. Janai Broom leads the league in offensive rebounds per game, flexing his muscles here early.
Condon, top of the key. A dribble over to the left wing. A handoff to Martin. Martin around the screen, gets to the free throw line. Step back, fadeaway, good for Elijah Martin. He's been in the Final Four. He's the first player ever to start a Final Four game for multiple schools. Approximately 1,500 people have played in the Final Four. He's the one who's done it. The ball kicked as Auburn tried to set up in the right-hand offensive zone. It'll be a 20-second shot clock as Auburn will inbound near sideline.
Think about Elijah Martin, though, at 6'2", 220. Just how physical he is. Getting to the body, getting to his step back. He can play out in transitions, a two-way player. Elijah Martin, that Final Four experience, a great pickup by Todd Golden in the portal this last offseason.
Chaney Johnson, the 6'7" senior on the floor for Auburn, as is the 6'1" freshman Tahad Pettiford. Off the inbound, Baker Mazzara drives the right side of the lane and lays it in. 8-6 Auburn. Quick push for Clayton, end to end, gets to the left block, feeds it to Condon, trailing in the paint. He'll back it out top of the key. Condon looks to his right. Needs a little help, harassed by Johnson, enters at left block to Chinyelu. Chinyelu turns, gets to that left block in the left hand, and Broom held his right arm. He got bumped down low, and he immediately grabbed that right arm.
No question about that. What a move right there. Bringing the physicality with Chinyelu right there. Just going at Broom, and that's something to monitor. He's still kind of messing with that elbow.
He's got a wrap on it. He gets the ball on a hard bounce into the paint. The shot won't go. And a foul is called, and Broom's going to go to the free throw line. And even after that shot, Robbie,
he doesn't feel comfortable out there.
That arm just sort of hung. I don't want to say completely like a dead arm, but it was clearly he's feeling it right now. That first contact from Chinyelu, and
Chinyelu got him with that elbow. He's really using that for leverage, but he cracks Broom. Broom's still talking about it right now. It's something to monitor as we go forward. I will say, though, as soon as he got the ball, he was ready to score.
Yeah, I know. He didn't hesitate as he goes to the free throw line with the left-handed shooter, which is key with the right arm injury. Free throw is good. It's never too early to start planning for the 2026 NCAA Men's Final Four, April 4th and 6th in Indianapolis. Visit ncaa.com/men's Final Four and apply for your seats today. Broom off to an excellent start. 5 early points, 2 rebounds. He's had a double-double in the first half each of the last 2 games, and he's on his way here. 3.5 minutes into this one with 2 free throws. He's got 6 points.
Well, he was unbelievable in that Michigan State game. 25 points, 14 rebounds, 4 on the offensive end of the floor. One of the best players in college basketball doing it here on one of the biggest stages.
And Aberdeen's pass is tipped out of bounds into the backcourt. It's going to stay with Florida. Denzel Aberdeen off the bench along with 6'9" sophomore Thomas Houck for the Gators. Also, Micah Handlogton, the 7'1" junior from Huntsville, North Carolina, on the floor. Walter Clayton will walk it across. 4 minutes gone, first half. Clayton net by Kelly. He'll bring it around to the left-hand side. Clayton curls 3, left wing. Good. Clayton's hit 2, and Florida's on top 11-10. Quickly up the floor, Baker Mazzara, 3 right. Corner is good. Chad Baker Mazzara screaming, let's go, as he hops up the floor. Auburn up 13-11.
I need Baker Mazzara to get his offense going. He struggled over the last 2. Getting that early layup, a big deal for him.
Clayton on the run. Shot won't go. Tip try by Handlogden. Right block won't go. Auburn will push it up the floor. Long pass ahead. Chaney Johnson rejected at the rim by Thomas Houck. Martin will push it up for the Gators. Ball poked away from him. He'll get it back. Deep 3 right wing. Good. 2 feet behind the arc. Martin said, why not? And it's Florida 14, Auburn 13.
Thomas Houck made massive defensive plays in the Texas Tech win in the Elite 8, and right there setting the tone early. Looks like it's going to be a layup. He erases it. Florida off to the races. Elijah Martin paying it off.
Here's Chaney Johnson, dribbles inside. Kick out to Broom. 3 on the right wing. Won't go. Rebound tipped around. Johnson offensive board for Auburn. Up top to Baker Mazzara, steps into a 3, and Chad Baker Mazzara with 8 first-half points. Auburn 16, Florida 14. Here we go in San Antonio.
But Chaney Johnson makes the play. 2 Gators there to block him out. He goes over the top of both.
Clayton again, his 3 this time won't go, and we've got a foul on the floor under the basket. That'll take us to the media timeout. it'll be against Auburn. And a timeout on the floor. Auburn shooting 55%. Florida 56%. And a 16-14 lead for the Auburn Tigers. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's Final Four.
Hey, weekend warriors, how's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in. Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails and turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The NFL Draft presented by Bud Light is coming to Green Bay. Don't miss your chance to experience the ultimate NFL fan fest.
Unbelievable atmosphere.
For free. Featuring player appearances, photo opportunities, fan experiences, live music, and more. Be there as the future of the NFL takes the stage in Titletown. April 24th through the 26th. Register for free entry at NFL.com/draft access today.
On good intentions. Through Travis Manion Foundation, if not me, then who, are words that can live in you too. Show the world what your character is made of, because character is invisible until it's not. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians at travismanion.org. That's travismanion.org.
Kevin Kugler, Robbie Hummel, and PJ Carlissimo here in our Grainger broadcast position in San Antonio. For the ones who get it done, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade products for all industries, fast delivery, and free technical support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Good start to this one. PJ Carlissimo, a 16-14 advantage for Auburn. This feels like a Final Four game.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, they're playing like it's a regular season game. No nerves at all. I love the way the teams are going at each other. We got our stats backwards. Auburn is owning the glass. They look like the much better team. It's 5-0 second chance points already, and surprisingly, neither team doubling the bigs. They just bounced the ball 2-3 times. Janai Broom on the first possession, Ruben Chinyelu later. If you don't double team these bigs, they're going to have a field day inside.
3 ties, 6 lead changes, and only 1 timeout between the teams so far. Florida will inbound on the right baseline. They set up in the left-hand offensive zone. Feed up top to Hanlog. Then the 7-1 sophomore will bring it over to the left side, and Martin trying to bolt his way inside against Denver Jones. Backs it up top to Clayton. Clayton with the shot clock at 10. Feeding it over now to Houck, and the right side to Martin. Martin jumping into the paint. Runner won't go, but a foul's going to be called on Dylan Cardwell, colliding with him on his way up. And so 2 free throws coming for the Gators.
Well, Auburn's trying to keep these pick and rolls on the side. And I love the way that Florida just quickly reversed it. And then Elijah Martin is driving that seam. And with his physicality, we've already mentioned it once tonight. When you watch him on TV or on tape, you're like, man, he looks like he's 6'5", and he's definitely not. But he's a big body guard, 210 pounds. He's using all of that to get downhill.
6'2", 210, and every bit of that. It is a strong, compact frame as he hits the first free throw. And in that early season meeting that Florida still won at Auburn, they didn't have Elijah Martin. He was out with a hip injury in that game.
Walter Clayton was outstanding. Second foul shot goes down, but he got plenty of help. Even without Elijah Martin, 5 guys with 9 or more. So the other guys stepped up. We mentioned Alex Condon playing as well as he did. There's a lot of weapons on this Florida team. Even a guy like a Denzel Ambertine. He's coming in here on the floor. He is looking to score.
Todd Pettiford to bring it up now for Auburn. He's been tremendous in the NCAA tournament. Finds Cardwell inside for the two-hand flush. 18-16 Auburn.
He totally sells that with his eyes. He's looking off that help side defense. There's nobody home on the roll. What a pass from Pettiford.
Houck will try to track down an errant pass, and as he tries to get it into the corner to Aberdeen, Pettiford backs it out of bounds. Roger Ayers will track it down. I think there's a shot clock change. They've got the shot clock at 18. And I think they're looking to change that clock. There it is to 22. It'll be Florida who will inbound near half court on the far sideline. Down to 18-16. Neither team coming out cold in this one. So much for the big arena, hard to shoot theory.
Or even just the jitters. But you think about these two teams, a lot of experience, a lot of guys that have played together, a lot of experience in college basketball.
Clayton off the inbound is trapped near half court, gets rid of it now to Handlogden, who finds Aberdeen for three. That's short. Rebound tipped by Handlogden, back to Aberdeen. They'll try the right baseline, nothing there. Swing around to Houck, and Houck at the top of the key, pivots to the right. One dribble to the right, hands off to Aberdeen. Now 10 to shoot. Aberdeen will back it out to Houck. Houck will put it on the deck, driving on Chaney Johnson. Gets inside and pushes that one off the window to tie it at 18.
Boy, Thomas Houck is a stud right there because Chaney Johnson, he's in the down. He recovers, takes away the three, contests at the rim, and it just doesn't matter. What a finish with the right hand.
Cardwell, the big, bouncing it down to Chaney Johnson in the left block. He'll move into the paint. Through contact, just muscles it over Houck. The shot is good. Just inside the free throw arc, and it's 20-18.
Oh, these bigs have got to be loving what they're seeing. Single coverage and all day to go to work.
There's Clayton, step back three, left wing. That's a wild shot. Worst shot we've seen for either team in this half. Auburn with the rebound, and Pettiford to bring it up. Trying to cross over against Aberdeen. He'll now back it out. 20-18, Auburn by a pair. Pettiford dribbling middle of the floor. It's Cardwell back to Pettiford now. Here's Denver Jones, top of the key. Handlogged sagged off him. He shot the three. It's no good. It's tipped out of bounds by Florida. Will stay with Auburn.
Boy, and an animated discussion right now with Will Richard, Walter Clayton, and Micah Handlogged getting in on it. They are so fortunate. You run away from a shooter like Denver Jones. Was quiet against Michigan State, only 8 points, 2 of 6 from the field. But that's 42% from three on the year. You have got to stay with him. You're never running away from the basketball.
Even with that quiet game, still averaging 13 points per game in the NCAAs, and on the year, 42% from three. Pettiford to Bloom at the top of the key off the inbound. Here's Pettiford. He's got Aberdeen in front of him. Now to Baker Mazzara, who's had the hot hand. Clayton defending at the top of the key. Over to Bloom on the right-hand wing. Working against Chinyalu, trying to back him down on the right block. 4 to shoot. Bloom turning, running through the paint. Left-hand hook won't go. Rebound batted out by Condon to Florida. Now Aberdeen will navigate up the floor. Works it over to Condon. Condon on a bounce to Clayton. A little bobble as he got to the left block. He'll bring it out. Working against the taller Chad Baker Mazzara. Around the Condon screen. Turns it down. Back to Condon left side. 14 to shoot. Condon dribbles over to the top of the key. The handoff now to Will Richard. Richard holds it high above his head. One bounce to Condon. 7 to shoot. Condon on the drive. Spinning low. Gets underneath. Boom with a block of that left-hand hook. And Pettiford the rebound. Pettiford now quickly into the front court for Auburn. He'll stop top of the key. Sends it over on the right side to Chad Baker Mazzara. Down the right side. Jumps it into the paint to Johnson. Swing around. Left corner. 3. Up and off from Denver Jones. Tip try won't go. The tip of the paint from Chaney Johnson won't go. But a foul underneath on Alex Condon takes us to the under 12 media timeout with a 20-18 Auburn lead. 11:33 remaining in this opening half. You're listening to the men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Hey, weekend warriors, how's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in. Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails. Turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Later on, we'll select the play of the day, sponsored by Old Spice. Stink in places beyond your pits. Old Spice has you covered with total body deodorant, 24/7 freshness from pits to toes with daily use. A little bit of a cool-off for each of these two teams. Florida's missed their last two. Auburn's missed their last three, and we've been at a stalemate almost 2 minutes with the score still 20-18 Auburn.
Well, I love the way that Chad Baker-Mazara has come out. A guy that was struggling 2 games prior to this, only 6 points a game, 4 of his last 19 from the field. He was a big key for Auburn here in this game to get himself going because Miles Kelly has struggled. We mentioned Denver Jones being quiet against Michigan State, but a good start for him early. And on that last play, he makes the play by flying in there, keeping that ball alive, tipping it to Chaney Johnson, and Johnson's going to the line.
Condon with the foul a moment ago before that timeout. It's his first, just the second team foul on Florida. 3 whistled against Auburn. All 5 combined fouls have been on 5 different players. So no foul trouble at all with 11:33 to play in this first half as Chaney Johnson goes to the line. Nearly a 70% foul shooter this year. Johnson averaging just over 9 points per game.
What a luxury for Florida that you can go deep in the bench to Hamilton, you can go to Sam Alexis, you've got Chinyelu, you've got Alex Condon, you've got a deep front court for the Florida Gators.
Johnson hits that first free throw. This is the first time either team has led for more than 2 points. That's how even this game has been through the first 8.5 minutes. And Johnson makes it a 4-point game. Almost an insurmountable lead at this point in the game, Robbie.
Boy, they don't call you the best in the business for nothing here.
I didn't know they did that to begin with, so that's interesting news. Condon will inbound, and it comes in to Aberdeen. 22-18, Auburn with the advantage here first half. Aberdeen will bounce it up to Condon. Condon sends that one a high pass over to the right corner, and Will Richard. Richard able to leap up and secure it. Now brings it over to Condon. Condon on the left wing, picks up his dribble, finds Martin cutting down the right side of the lane. Gets to the rim, count the bucket, and he's fouled. You can hear the smack on the wrist from Tahad Pettiford, a little bit of a delayed whistle, but it's still going to count as an and one for Martin.
That's an amazing cut, though, by Elijah Martin because the dribble handoff gets blown up, so he just takes it right to the rim. Plenty of contact. We just saw on the replay there. Pettiford with the contact. Elijah Martin using that physicality again.
And Pete's a three-point play is converted as Elijah Martin hits the free throw.
I'm saying, Will Richard and Elijah Martin are big, strong, physical guards. If you don't keep them from bogarting you, you're in trouble, and right now that's what's happening.
Baker-Mazara dribbles to the foul line. He'll back this one out to Jones. Jones back up to Baker-Mazara. Standing middle of the floor, left side he works it to Pettiford with 7 to shoot. Baker-Mazara trying to find some room around the Broom screen. They close that down with 2 defenders. Ball knocked free and taken away by the Gators, and then out of bounds. We've got a whistle, and he was out of bounds. It's a shot clock violation before he went out, though, and it will be Florida basketball.
Well, that might be Florida's best defensive possession. They're handling the pick and roll. Condon is up. There's nowhere to go. He recovers right back. Will Richards where he needs to be. That was a clinic there by the Florida Gators in half-court defense.
Richard will inbound now for Florida. 10:42 left first half. Auburn by 1, 22-21. Aberdeen into the backcourt. He'll bring it up. Waiting for him at half court is Miles Kelly. The handoff to Condon. And now Chinyelu, one dribble to his left, sends the pass over to the left corner of Aberdeen. Aberdeen curling around to the left-hand wing. 6 to shoot. Feeds up top to Condon. Condon on the dribble to the right side. He'll hand it off to Richard. 1 to shoot. Contested jumpers and air ball. But a foul. A foul is called on Miles Kelly as the horn sounds in the background. Tony Padilla right there with the whistle, and he says he got him on the arm, and he did.
Yes, he definitely did right there. Auburn had done so much right on that defensive possession. Looks like they maybe are going over to take a look on 2 or 3.
They're checking to see did it beat the shot clock.
Did it get off? Yeah.
Did the foul occur before or after? It was so close to that 30-second shot clock. They've got to be checking to see did it get off in time. It's a 3 if it's a foul before the shot clock.
It's clear that those feet are behind the line. That's the replay we just saw.
By rule, we're going to check to see if the foul occurred before the shot clock violation.
Excellent description by Roger Ayers to let us know what's going on. PJ Carlissimo, you're getting a look at this right now. Did this beat that shot clock?
I think it clearly did. Again, it's easy in slow motion with the monitor right in front of us, but I agree. And initially, I didn't see it. Robbie said right away, Tony Padilla was correct. There was contact on the arm.
It looks like he got him on that right arm. Kelly with a close contest. The Auburn bench erupted, and they probably still wouldn't feel a whole lot better about it when they saw the replay we saw, but it does look like Tony Padilla got the call correct, and now this will likely be 3 free throws coming up after the foul on Kelly.
After review, the ruling on the floor is confirmed. The contact occurred with 1 second on the shot clock.
Good tempo with that review.
Yeah, very
that
good.
was get over there, get it checked out, and get it going.
Last week when we were in Indianapolis,
We did
Robbie,
not have good tempo.
the Sweet 16, Doug Shows was putting on a clinic.
You are right. He
Doug
was
Shows did a really good job with the explanations, and Roger Ayers clearly.
But he's been going to the school, you think?
Yeah, he's been studying tape, as all coaches and players and referees do. And learn from Doug Showers. PJ Carlissimo just gave me a look that I cannot repeat on radio. It's a look I've seen many a time. First free throw is good. Later on, we'll select the smart coaching move of the day, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I got Gene Steratore sitting right next to me working with CBS. If I say anything bad about the officials, I'm going to get an elbow right to the forehead.
This is as close as you've ever comfortably sat to an official.
I didn't say comfortably. I said he's sitting next to me.
2 for 3 on that trip to the line. The third free throw caroms off into the hands of the Tigers, with Florida now up by 1 again, 23-22. Jones will bring it into the right-hand offensive zone, hitting it over to Chad Baker-Mazara. Tried to enter it to Broom. It's stripped away. Broom gets it back, and now he'll go to work, driving into the paint, running with left-hand hook, bounces off the glass, no good. Rebound to Will Richard of Florida, and he'll push it up the floor. Richard now to Aberdeen, mid-floor. Auburn's missed their last 4 shots, heading to the field goal in 3-16. Barwal knocked away, and Broom comes up with the basketball for Auburn. A turnover. Chad Baker-Mazara, top of the key, will set it up in the right-hand offensive zone. Dribbles around the Broom screen. Shot fake, goes back out to Jones. He'll launch a 3 right wing, rolls off the front iron. It won't go, and the rebound spiked by Chinyelu, and he rips it away. Florida brings it up the floor from the right to the left. Elijah Martin across the half-court line. Dribbles to the left-hand wing. The dribble handoff to Richard. Top of the key, 3 for Will Richard. Caroms off the right side, iron, no good. Rebound chased down by Dylan Cardwell.
We had such a frenetic start in terms of the scoring, but both these teams here going a little bit cold, getting a great look. Condon's at a big-time screen, but nothing doing with the jumper.
Auburn's missed their last 5 shots, trying to get back on track offensively. Haven't scored in over 2.5 minutes. Jones on the drive, trying to change it all the way to the rim. Muscles it through a ton of contact from Chinyelu and forces it over the front of the iron. 24-23 Auburn.
Well, he blows right by Elijah Martin. The help's coming over. Chinyalu's there at the rim, but a good adjustment there mid-flight. Denver Jones making a play off the bounce.
Condon will dribble over to the right-hand wing. Just inside the arc, he'll hand it off to Martin. Driving right baseline. Broom got a piece of it from behind, blocked it away, and Auburn comes up with a loose ball. Kelly will start the break. A hesitation. A blow by to the rim for 2. He lays it in on the left side. 26-23, Auburn by 3.
When Auburn elite nationally blocking shots, third in the country, they get it done defense leading to offense.
And Aberdeen, a quick attack on the other end, and he fades away from 8 to drop a jumper down. 26-25, Auburn by 1.
Well, Denzel Aberdeen likes to live in that mid-range. 50% of his jumpers come from off the bounce, and he has that ability to rise up over the top and quiet that Auburn run right there.
Broom will bring it over on the left-hand wing. They'll set up in the right-hand offensive zone. It's Jones. Holds the ball in his waist. Gives it over the left side. 3 from Kelly. Snaps the climb. Auburn with a 3, and it's 29-25 Tigers.
That cross-screen, down-screen action is so hard to guard because you have to help on the cutter, but you know the way that Miles Kelly has shot the basketball. You got to get out there on the three-point line on him, too.
Condon drops it off baseline, turns it over. He wanted to get it through traffic to a cutting Will Richard. Instead, he bounces it into the camera folks on the baseline. A turnover for Florida, and momentum rides with the number 1 overall seed, Auburn. Timeout on the floor, 29-25 Tigers. You're listening to the men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE, SIPC.
Monster.com helps you slam dunk the job search and make your next career move. With great coaching and millions of job openings, Monster.com empowers you to score your next position and win the job hunt. Get off the bench and go to Monster.com today.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hardworking tools at hardworking prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Have you heard? Kohl's has 2 exclusive new home brands, Miriana and Mingle & Co. From luxe favorites that are all about turning your space into a sanctuary to fun mix and match dining essentials, there's so much to discover. And trust me, you're gonna love everything. Plus, you can get an extra 20% off throughout the store during our Friends and Family sale. So hurry to Kohl's today and bring it all home for less. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends April 6th. See store or kohls.com for details.
It's time for the Kohl's Fact of the Game. Florida went 10-0 in the month of March, and along the way, defeated 7 teams ranked in the AP Top 25. That ties the Gators with the 1950 City College of New York squad for the most ever victories over ranked teams in the month of March. Of course, that CCNY team is known for a unique and now impossible feat. They're the only team to ever win both the NCAA tournament and the NIT in the same season. That's the Fact of the Game, sponsored by Kohl's. Make this spring a stylish one with on-trend looks for every occasion when you shop at Kohl's and Kohls.com, where families come first. 29-25, Auburn with the advantage. They've made 3 straight after missing 5 in a row. But points in the paint have been huge so far for Auburn, Robbie Hummel. 16-8 in favor of Auburn.
Yeah, there is no doubt that the way that Auburn is playing, and they actually won that category in the game back in February, 38-30. Managed the Tigers in a game that they ended up losing to Florida. But the points in the paint, no question about it, but their defense has tightened. It's led to some offense, 2 blocks, something that Auburn has done so well, protecting the rim on dribble drives. You've seen some block shots. It's led to runouts. Auburn's been able to take advantage.
PJ, what has stood out to you in these first 12 and a half minutes?
Same thing we talked about early. Auburn is dominating on the glass. They're running better. There's only been 2 fast break points. It's been Auburn. The block shots got it going. To me, Auburn is much more comfortable and playing much more close to their normal game. Florida, in particular, Alex Condon, I think Janai Broom scoring on him early, and he's talking to him. You're talking a third-team All-SEC player. He's been invisible so far. So if I'm Bruce Pearl, I'm thrilled with where we're at right now.
Well, and to build off of PJ's point, Alex Condon has struggled now. 3 straight games leading into this Final Four where he'd been in single digits. The numbers haven't been there. He's got to be a factor the way he was in that game back in February.
On the bench right now with Hanlogden out there for Florida. Auburn sets up in the right-hand zone, playing on the offensive end with Jones sending it over to Kelly. Kelly on the right-hand wing. to Broom. Broom gets free of hand-logged and driving on a diagonal toward the rim. His shot blocked away. Houck came over to help, and Florida takes it away from Broom.
Thomas Houck makes so many winning plays. Just being in the right place right there, coming over and meeting him on the dribble drive. Great defensive effort.
Martin on the left-hand wing, working against Broom. Will work up to Hand-Logden. Hand-Logden at the top of the key. Swings it back to Houck. Houck turns, spinning into the paint. Broom had it not free. Broom swatted it away from Houck. Pettiford comes up with it for Auburn, and the Tigers will bring it up the floor. Broom in the paint, ball poked free. He gets it back. Back out to Pettiford with 20 to shoot. Zahad Pettiford will set it up. Auburn leading 29-25. Pettiford curling over to the left-hand side. Step back three on the left wing is short. Rebound and a foul underneath. It's going to be on Hand-Logden. He got tangled up with Janai Broom. Hand-Logden picks up the personal foul. That's his first.
Now, Kevin, going back to the other end, Florida has to have a better understanding that the dribble drive, they've got to get to the paint with the bounce, but it might not be for you. You know, with the way Auburn blocks shots, you're trying to draw two, you're looking to kick for your shooters, you're looking to dump off for your bigs, but too many times they've been looking to score for themselves. It's led to blocks, it's led to runouts.
So swing around to Pettiford. Pettiford curling over to the right side. Back up top it goes to Jones. Over Jones, looking for some help from Broom. 5 to shoot, skips the pass to the right wing. Pettiford set three from there with a challenge from Martin is no good. And the rebound to Will Richard of Florida. Walter Clayton Jr. on the run, all the way to the rim. Just a rack attack for Clayton, and he blew by everybody for two. 29-27, Auburn by a pair.
Well, this game has been played so much in the half court. Walter Clayton just creating his own opportunity there. And how about Hand-Logden sealing the way? He's Buffalo and Broom and clears the way for Clayton on the drive.
Here's Jones, a shot fake, drifts into the right corner and throws the ball into the backcourt. Pettiford to track it down, and it's over and back. So a turnover for the Tigers. That'll frustrate Bruce Pearl. Their second turnover of the first half. And Florida will go to work, and they'll inbound under their basket with the ball being thrown all the way down the floor on the left baseline.
And that's not a problem that Auburn has run into all that often. They've been so good on the year of taking care of the ball. Just over 9 a game. That's second in the SEC. That's 8 nationally. Certainly a point of emphasis for Bruce Pearl's team and something that you don't see the Auburn Tigers do all that often.
It'll be Clayton who will inbound on the left baseline for Florida. Into the right corner, finds Martin, looks for a three. The shot won't go. Kelly climbing the ladder to get the rebound for Auburn. Underhands it ahead to Pettiford. Pettiford weaving through traffic. Ball poked out of his hands to Cardwell, and he'll get it back. Looks over his left shoulder at his coaching staff behind him. Dribbling on the Final Four logo.
I like that Pettiford. You're taking the temperature. It's not there. Pull it out, run your offense.
And drives all the way to the rim on a right-hand diagonal, curling through traffic to lay it in. And Auburn's lead is 4, 31-27. Clayton on the drive, has it poked out of his hands, ends up with Richard in the corner. Richard will drive baseline. He gets knocked down. Hand-Logden gets the basketball from him. Skip back out to Richard on the right wing. Richard around the Houck screen tries the three. That's off the back iron. No good. And a long rebound track down by Chaney Johnson. Florida's gone cold. Gators down to just 45% shooting in this first half. Here's Pettiford on the drive again. Stumbles as he turns the corner. Triples the ball out somehow to Johnson. Jump stop in the paint for Johnson as he drives from the right corner. And back out it goes to Jones. Florida started 4 of 5. They're 5 of their last 15 as Jones splits, drives down the right side of the lane. Layup is good. And a foul for Denver Jones. A chance for one more at the line. And Auburn's lead is 6, 33-27.
Well, on the pick and roll defense, you have got to be solid and you've got to be connected. Denver Jones right there, the ability to split and get downhill. Hand-Logden's trying to come over and get vertical. But what a take and what a play by Jones. Out of pick and roll, making something happen at the rim.
Todd Golden is upset, yelling at referee Courtney Green. He said, how is that a foul?
He felt like he had gone with verticality. It's been one of the really good rule changes that we've had in college basketball to allow the bigs come over and give some help with I guess, the ability to contest at the rim. And Courtney Green felt like he wasn't vertical.
Free throw is no good. Second foul on Hand-Logden brings him to the bench, puts Condon back on the floor. Clayton will bring it up. with the Gators down 6. Here's Richard, ball poked through, and it's a turnover. What a play by Miles Kelly.
Boy, he gets never quit on it. Just an Iverson screen over the top. Kelly of Pets the entire time, stayed behind Richard and just poked that from the backside.
5th Florida turnover. Pettiford now top of the key. Brings it over to the left side. Jones gets to the foul line. Jumper a little bit strong from their rebound. Swatted out to Richard. Florida on the run. Richard doesn't have numbers. Weaving through traffic. Finds Clayton on the trail. Clayton driving all the way to the rim. Somehow scoops it up on the left side with 2 hands. You really can't call that a layup because he took it up with 2 on the left block and he puts it in.
Yeah, Will Richard didn't agree with you that they didn't have numbers. No. All he had to do was give it up to Clayton and let him go on the other side.
Timeout called by Auburn, 33-29. Clayton now with 10 as we step aside from San Antonio. You're listening to the men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
.333 remaining in this opening half, a 33-29 lead for Auburn. Once again, let's rejoin our courtside reporter Andy Katz with a special guest.
All right, thank you, Kevin. I'm joined by Ole Miss head coach Chris Beard. And a couple things. First of all, Chris, you coached against both these teams throughout the course of the season. I think you combined 4 times, 3 for Auburn, 1 for Florida. Let's deal first with the Auburn Tigers. What made them so difficult this season to coach against?
Yeah, I think obviously one of the most experienced teams in college basketball, and they have the ability to play in the half court through Broome, or just with their talent, they can get up and down too. So that they can play multiple ways, which I always thought was the most interesting thing about their team.
And Florida, they got better as the course of the season went along. What was challenging about dealing with the Gators?
I think 2 things: depth, strength in numbers. They have enough big bodies to throw at you. And then, in my opinion, Clayton, the best guard in college basketball this year.
SEC, the best league, 14 teams. It's kind of justice that 2 of them got to the Final Four against each other. What was it like coaching in the SEC this season?
Yeah, everything that was advertised was true. It was just a gauntlet. It kind of feels like the SEC tournament right here. I know it's an awesome league. I think really from top to bottom was where the story was. You know, no bad teams in the league this year.
Last time Auburn was here was 2019 in the Final Four, not in San Antonio, but in the Final Four. You were coaching Texas Tech. What was that experience like for you to coach in a Final Four in a building like this, in a dome?
That was the best experience of my life until overtime. The confetti was coming down. Unfortunately, it wasn't on us. But no, this event, you can say what you want about college basketball. This is the best sporting event in the world. I think we all know it.
Appreciate it, Chris.
Thanks.
Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Andy, thanks so much. These 2 SEC teams doing battle here with Auburn up 33-29. Florida's done a little better job getting going in the paint. They've closed that paint gap to 8 points now at 20-12.
Well, and you just think about the way that Auburn had it going. It looked like it was going to be impossible to shut that off. But Florida has done a great job of getting back, setting their defense, and doing a better job on Broome.
Here's Pettiford off the inbound to 3 is no good, but he's fouled. Elijah Martin with the foul on the close contest to Pettiford. 3 free throws coming and a timeout on the floor. This is the under 4 media timeout with Auburn leading at 33-29. You're listening to the men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Have you heard? Kohl's has 2 exclusive new home brands, Miriana and Mingle & Co. From luxe favorites that are all about turning your space into a sanctuary to fun mix and match dining essentials, there's so much to discover. And trust me, you're gonna love everything. Plus, you can get an extra 20% off throughout the store during our Friends and Family sale. So hurry to Kohl's today and bring it all home for less. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends April 6th. See store at Kohl's.com for details.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
It's time to find appliances that fit your needs and your style at the Home Depot. Shop Spring Black Friday savings and get up to 35% off select appliances like GE Profile, plus free delivery. From all-in-one washer-dryer combos that can wash and dry a full load in under 2 hours to feature-loaded refrigerators with built-in autofill water pitchers, GE Profile has appliances made to simplify your life and elevate your home. Shop Spring Black Friday savings on top brand appliances and get free delivery happening now at the Home Depot. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $396 or more. Offer valid April 3rd through April 23rd. U.S. only. See store online for
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Kevin Kugler, Robbie Hummel, and PJ Carlissimo here at our Grainger courtside seats in San Antonio. Grainger is like an expert extension of your team, offering industrial-grade products, fabric, and free technical support. Call, click Grainger.com, and to get what your business needs. PJ Carlissimo, 33-27 advantage, Auburn by 6.
Yeah, 5 turnovers already for Florida. We talked about that. It's 5-2 turnovers, Florida with 5. Offensive rebounds, surprisingly, 5 for Auburn, only 3 for Florida. It hasn't really shown up yet in points off turnovers or second chance points, but look at the field goal attempts. Auburn's got 27 field goal attempts already, only 21 for Florida. You keep turning it over and giving up offensive rebounds, you're in trouble.
A 33-29 advantage for Auburn, and Auburn's holding this lead, Robbie, without much from Janai Broome after the first 4 minutes of this basketball game. As Pettiford's first free throw is good.
Got off to such a good start, and you wonder a little bit about what that elbow is feeling for him. Todd Pettiford now at the line. This is the second guy in this game where we've seen sent to the foul line shooting a 3. Second foul shot goes down. But those are just the mental mistakes that kill you and drive coaches crazy.
We saw Broome right around the point where he had his 6 points and 2 rebounds to start this game. Collide as the third free throw goes down with Chinyere and grab that right arm. He's not been able to do much since, and he's waving to the crowd, but with just one arm right now. Very similar to how he played the end of the Michigan State game. Martin will bring it up for Florida. The Gators down 36-29. 3:20 to play in this opening half. Martin, a little crossover, gets top of the key, sends it left side. Howell open 3, off the heel, no good. Rebound Miles Kelly for Auburn. A great look. He's been hitting those in this tournament.
Thomas Howell loves to be the replace guy. You roll the big, you replace him behind. He's been shooting the ball so well. Had the big game in the win against Texas Tech, but doesn't get that one down.
Baker Mazzara dumps it down the left block. Underneath, Broome going to work, muscles it through Condon, and banks it home. Long pass ahead. Condon on the run with the catch, drops it off to Clayton, and he's fouled by Chad Baker Mazzara on a diagonal from right to left to the rim.
What a sequence right there, Kevin. First of all, Janai Broome is just going right through the body of Alex Condon. That is so strong. Finishing it off with that left hand, going through the body. But then Florida is not messing around. PJ talked about it in the pregame keys, how much they want to push. Good catch by Condon to corral it, and then you get the opportunity. Clayton is such a good cutter. First foul shot goes down, and we're watching the replay. Broome, more discomfort in that elbow.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships. Second free throw good. Makes them both. 38-31. Auburn by 7. You're right, though, Robbie. Broome is still favoring that right arm. He got bumped immediately by Condon as they bring it up the floor now. Broom drops into the right block, going to work against Houck. Turns into the paint, up and under move, goes to the right side, and he lays it in. Feeling enough to do that. And it's 40-31, Auburn by 9.
I love the move right there. Broom can spin on you on the baseline side. It's the multiple counter. Spin to the baseline, spin back to the middle, then the offhand gets it done.
Clayton being harassed finds Houck, left wing. 3 is good. Clayton had a double and all the attention in the world. Calmly found Houck in Florida within 6.
Well, Dylan Cardwell takes on the roller with Alex Condon, and that leaves Thomas Houck all by himself at the top of the key.
And Chad Baker-Mazara leaving it for Broom, top of the key. He'll launch a set 3 from there. It's on the back iron, no good. Clayton, the rebound for Florida, looking to push. Clayton dribbling middle of the floor, gets past Baker-Mazara, 8-foot jumper, rolls around and out. Rebound tipped out to Houck. Back it goes now to Florida. Martin on the drive to the left side. Won't go. Tip try for Condon won't go. And Auburn clears the rebound.
Well, Tom Golden will take that. Alex Condon on that possession, really active. Multiple efforts on the offensive glass. You get a good look from Clayton. You get a good dribble drive from Martin. Just doesn't get it to go.
Cardwell now back to Pettiford. Pettiford dribbling on the Final Four logo to the left side. A 3 from Kelly. Rattles around and home. Miles Kelly. Another 3, his second of the first half. He's got 8. And Auburn leads by 9, 43-34.
How about Miles Kelly popping out of that 3 of 18 slope from the three-point line, but you can't go remove guarding him. He's made him pay tonight.
Oh, and a little shot fake. Pettiford went airborne and almost ended up riding piggyback on Will Richard. He came down, and Pettiford, just the freshman, trying to go for the ride on the senior Will Richard's shoulders, and ouch, it's a 1-and-1 opportunity with the foul on Pettiford. It's his second, so 2 on Pettiford. So Richard to the line for the front end of the 1-and-1. Excellent free throw shooter, 84% this year. Richard to the line. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good. And PJ Carlissimo, this Florida team's been withstanding, it seems like, an Auburn rally for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, they have, Kevin. When we're down under 3 minutes, I'm thinking, boy, they have got to close this half really good, or they're going to go in the locker room with their heads down, and they really have not done that to this point. It's been more Auburn closing the half.
Denver Jones off the second made free throw brings it up with Auburn up 7, 43-36. Jones standing middle of the floor. Martin sizing him up in front of it. Jones dribbles it over to the left side, and Kelly trying to get away from Clayton. Kelly with 13 to shoot, backs it up. Now enters to Broom, extended left side against Chinley. Tried to drag him down the baseline, gets underneath to the basket and banks it home. Broom with 12. And Clayton will bring it up the floor. Splits 2 defenders, driving all the way to the rim, and Clayton attacks and gets 2.
That is so high level from Walter Clayton. Great move from Janai Broom on the one end, and Walter Clayton is just bringing it, taking that defense 1-on-4 and getting it done at the rim.
Denver Jones now will walk this one up. They're going to hold for the final shot. Auburn with 10 seconds and counting to go in the first half. Fouls to give for Florida if they so choose. Jones on the drive. Back to a wide open Kelly. 4-3. It's off, no good. Offensive rebound. Jones takes it up. He is fouled right before the horn sounds. The foul on Will Richard of Florida. And I think they're going to go to the monitor again and make sure that it occurred before the horn sounded.
You had breakdowns kind of everywhere for Florida on that possession there, Kevin. You end up not handling the roll and replace with Miles Kelly. He gets a wide open shot. Denver Jones leaks into the play. No blockout responsibilities there. Here we see this replay. Jones gets the rebound.
Under review for a timing issue.
That's clearly going to be, there's no question about that. He gets that offensive rebound in around 2.3 seconds. Looks like the contact is just over 1.
Fortunately for Auburn fans, we're not going to have to pick at the wound and say there was a foul called with 0.6 seconds left in the Final Four. As although that one went against them in 2019 with Kyle Guy getting fouled with 0.6 to go.
But we're watching the TV feed right now, and I got to say, Raph is doing an incredible job.
The foul occurred at 1.6. There'll be 2 shots for Auburn.
Of telestrating on live shots. I just, you have to have so much respect for that. The TV no-no that he says, I don't care.
PJ, do you have a lot of respect for Raph on that?
No comment.
To the line now with the foul and 1.6 seconds to go in this first half.
There's never been and there never will be anyone like him.
No. But I love that he's like, producers would say, do not draw on a live shot. And you're watching, the camera's moving. Oh, here comes the circle.
Maybe it's Grant.
We know where the teller is. We know who's doing that.
Denver Jones at the line. Free throw, no good. Jones, a 91% foul shooter. After the foul is awarded, one more to go. The foul on Will Richard was his first. And Jones with one more free throw. Makes the second, 46-38. And now Florida will use its use it or lose it timeout. So we'll take it with them. 46-38. Auburn with 1.6 to play in the first half. You're listening to the men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
1.6 seconds remaining in this first half, and Florida uses its use it or lose it timeout. Peach, put on the coaching hat for a second. What's Todd Golden looking at here with 1.6?
He's looking at the score saying, we're really lucky that it's this close the way we've played. They have been outplayed soundly, and he's fortunate. Can't wait to talk to his team about 15 different things.
Clayton will inbound on the baseline into Houp. Three-quarter court shot. Good if it goes. It's off the right side of the backboard. Halftime has arrived, and a half that Auburn was in control for most. 46-38. High-level start, and Auburn with the stronger finish. They lead by 8 at halftime, Robbie. Really impressive first half of the Tigers.
It really was, and it was a lot of Janai Broome early, but when you look at the totality of the first half, it's a lot of the balance. And you see so many guys, out of everybody that has played, only Chris Moore has not scored. Everybody else has contributed. Auburn certainly a team that right now putting together a very balanced first half.
5 players with 5 points or more, 7 players with 4 points or more for the Auburn Tigers. Florida 44% from the floor and 4 of 10 from 3. Our halftime score, Auburn 46, Florida 38. When we return, we'll rejoin Jason Horowitz and Nick Baugh for the halftime report. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's Final Four.
The NFL Draft presented by Bud Light is coming to Green Bay. Don't miss your chance to experience the ultimate NFL fan fest.
Unbelievable atmosphere.
For free. Featuring player appearances, photo opportunities, fan experiences, live music, and more. Be there as the future of the NFL takes the stage in Titletown. April 24th through the 26th. Register for free entry at NFL.com/draft access today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need new rotors.
When you buy 2 Duralast rotors during our spring sale, you get Duralast brake pads free.
Free?
With the rotors.
Well, that's great. What if I need extra stopping power?
You can upgrade to Duralast Gold pads for just $10.
So Duralast pads are free?
Yep.
And an upgrade is just $10?
That's right. Part of the spring sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Spring Sale and get 30% off paints and stains March 28th through April 7th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Jason Horwitz and my partner, Nick Baugh. Happy to welcome you back to the Straight Talk Wireless set here in San Antonio, where Auburn leads Florida 46-38. You need more data so you can stream your Jam Mix on loop? Switch to Straight Talk. Get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. All right, Nick Baugh, first half is Auburn and Florida in the first 15 minutes played within 4 points of each other the entirety of the 15 minutes. But a run for Auburn really makes it felt like they were in complete control in that first half.
Completely agree. Even though the score would indicate that the two teams were neck and neck, I felt like in that 20 minutes, Auburn was by far the more comfortable team offensively in the half court. And then they disrupted the comfort of Florida in the half court defensively. And that's what stands out to me. When you look at the first matchup between Auburn and Florida back in February, Janai Broome was 7 of 16 from 2-point range. In this first half, he's 5 for 8 from 2-point. He's scoring at will in the paint, as are the entire Auburn Tigers, 13 of 18 from 2. And so right now, if you're Todd Golden, you got to find a way to disrupt some rhythm for Auburn on the defensive end of the floor, whether that's coming with digs, doubles, something to get Auburn out of their comfort zone. And I think Florida's best served right now to play faster. When Clayton has actually put his foot on the gas, he's gotten into the teeth of the defense, gotten all the way to the rim, and good things have happened for Florida. But all in all, those 20 minutes, I really felt like Auburn really controlled the totality of that on both ends.
And there's no question that Janai Broome is struggling with his elbow, and yet it still doesn't matter. Because anytime he's touching the ball in the paint, they're not doubling him, and he's getting his way within 2 feet of the basket.
Yeah, and on top of that, he is 100% going to get to his left hand. It's one of those things like he doesn't have a bag of moves that he's getting there. He's going to maybe wiggle around, give you an up fake, but he's getting to that left hand, and you still can't stop it. And I know it's a tricky proposition and a scary one to dig off of Chad Baker-Mazara and Tahad Pettiford and Denver Jones and Miles Kelly. But I just think if you are going to play one-on-one in the post right now, with the way Broome is cooking, you are in for a long night. But Florida's got to find a way to disrupt the Tigers offensively.
Well, the Gators fans in attendance, maybe they're looking to get a little second half boost with the fact that Billy Donovan is on the floor with the class of 2025 basketball Naismith Hall of Fame inductees. He just got introduced to the crowd. Maybe that will spark the Gators because they need something in the second half. Halftime, 46-38. Auburn leading Florida. When we come back, we'll get you ready for Game 2 between Houston and Duke. You're listening to the Men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Back with you inside the Alamo Dome, an 8-point lead. Auburn over Florida in the first half of the Final Four here in San Antonio. Well, coming up in game number 2, the other half of the 1 seeds that have all made it here to the Final Four. It is Duke and Houston. And for the Blue Devils and Con Knipple, all the attention certainly on Cooper Flagg, and he's going to get a lot of it from Houston tonight. But Knipple knows how hard the Cougars are about to come after all of the Blue Devils.
They're so connected. Obviously, they played with each other for a while. It's new guys, but
they're just tough. That comes off, and I think that's the biggest compliment I can give any team is that they're tough. They're gritty. So I love watching them. Even though we were going to play them, I love watching them play. There's going to be a tough physical battle, and I think we'll be ready for it.
Well, that certainly will be a major factor. As for the other side, Terrence Arsenault, who comes off the bench, he's one of those guys that's been there for a while. It's his third season with the Cougars. He had a nice surprise, 8 points in their win against Tennessee, and asked him what stands out about the Blue Devils.
They're a great team, all around great team. I feel like maybe this is probably one of Duke's best team I've seen in a while, for sure, for me. I know they had a lot of great teams, but this is a great team, and then we know it's going to be a hard challenge. Great offensive team, great defensive team, but I feel like if we go out there and win the first 10 minutes and apply pressure and just stay on them, I feel like we can control the game.
That's an interesting aspect as we bring Nick Baugh back into this, the first 10 minutes, because when you're playing Houston, until you face that physical defense, you know what's coming, but you have to be ready for it. If they get them in the mouth and Duke's like, oh, man, because that hasn't happened to Duke all year in this young group of players.
Couldn't agree more. And when you look at who Duke's played, they haven't played anybody that even closely resembles how Houston plays. And do you remember the second-round game against Gonzaga? It looked like Gonzaga was shell-shocked for the first 10 minutes of that game, and they got down to Houston just because of the physicality that they play with. And that's the thing about the Cougars. It's incumbent upon the opponent to adjust to them.
Yeah.
They impose their will every game they're out there. They are going to attack the offensive glass. They're going to trap ball screens, trap the post, so you've got to be ready to rebound and take care of the ball. We'll see if some of these younger players, big stage, Concanipple, Malawach, and, of course, Cooper Flagg, if they're ready to handle the physicality and the pressure that Houston's going to give them.
But you just mentioned the big man Malawach, and I think that's the one thing, as we've talked about this Final Four, that's kind of been overshadowed for Duke, is because everyone focuses on the young players and their offensive prowess. You forget how good they are defensively.
Absolutely. They are elite defensively. They just do it different. They're not as in your face as Houston is, and easily digestible in terms of being able to, you can see block shots and turnovers and pressure. Duke does it with 5 operating as 1, contesting shots at the rim, helping and recovering. They do it more fundamentally sound. Houston's more in your face in terms of style defensively, but it's an interesting contrast. But Malawach and his ability to defend the rim, his standing reach, just flat-footed, hand up in the air, 9'8". So think about that. Him just standing flat-footed, he's almost got his hand at the rim. He's really tough to score in at the 10.
You did hear Nick say that correctly, by the way, 9'8", which is basically he's the size of the basket when his hands are up in the air. Halftime here in game number 1, 46-38. Auburn leading Florida from the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. This is the men's Final Four.
If you've never had a chip cooked in beef tallow, get ready. Masa chips are made the old school way. No seed oils, no weird ingredients, just real food, corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed tallow. The crunch is insane, the taste is real, and you actually feel good after eating them. Because staying on top of your game starts with what you put in your body. Go to MasaChips.com and use code MM30 for 30% off your first order. Masa Chips, real ingredients, unreal crunch.
Hey, weekend warriors, how's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in. Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails. Turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The NFL Draft presented by Bud Light is coming to Green Bay. Don't miss your chance to experience the ultimate NFL fan fest.
Unbelievable atmosphere.
For free. Featuring player appearances, photo opportunities, fan experiences, live music, and more. Be there as the future of the NFL takes the stage in Titletown. April 24th through the 26th. Register for free entry at NFL.com/draft access today.
With Chaney Johnson dribbles inside, kick out. Broom, three on the right wing, won't go. Rebound tipped around. Johnson offensive board for Auburn. Up top to Mazzara, steps into a three, and Chad Baker Mazzara with 8 first-half points. Auburn 16, Florida 14. Here we go in San Antonio.
Yeah, his 8 first-half points came in the first 5.5 minutes of the first half, and we were on pace for a blistering score at halftime. We got there, sort of, 46-38, Auburn leading at the break, but those first 5 minutes, Florida had 16 points. They only had 22 the remaining 15 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, I actually thought Auburn did a good job of disrupting the timing of Florida's offense. They got physical with the guards, denied things on the sidelines. And for me, I think one of the I'll be curious to hear Coach Carlissimo get into this. Coaching at times is, okay, do you stay the course of what your plan is? Do you just do what you do it better? Or do you actually have to adjust? And to me, Todd Golden, you have to adjust. If you let Janai Broome take 10 dribbles and have 15 seconds to play one-on-one in the post, he's too good of a player. He's going to score or draw fouls. I think you got to come with some digs or a double to disrupt the rhythm. And then, like I've said this whole time to you, Florida's got to speed this game up. I think they got to get out in the open floor. I want to see Walter Clayton Jr. look to play fast. And if you're Bruce Pearl right now, you are saying we got to have 10 sets of eyes all on Walter Clayton Jr. and sizing him up.
Or do you let the Ted Lasso effect go and say, well, they were the ones who just messed it up for 20 minutes. Ask them what to do differently. You can always go with that perspective.
Yes.
Your thought here on what's going to change in the second half?
Well, I think that's the first thing I'm looking at. I guarantee you there's going to be a post touch to Broome. What does post defense look like for Florida? And then can Auburn replicate what they did in terms of executing on both sides of both ends of the floor? I thought defensively they were really disruptive. But again, defending Clayton, as we've seen, there's been numerous times he's resurrected Florida from being major league on the ropes. So we'll see if they can contain Clayton in the full court and in the half court because he's a handful.
At the half, 46-38, Auburn leading Florida, trying to get to a national championship game for the first time in school history. When we return, back to Kevin Kugler, Robbie Hummel, PJ Carlissimo will get you ready for the start of the second half. You're listening to the Men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data, available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
To win in basketball takes a can-do spirit. So shave with Barbasol and inspire your team. Raise that red, white, and blue can and yell, we can do this. If it doesn't work, you still got a great shave. Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
Westwood One presents Great Moments in Tournament History.
April 1st, 1985, defending national champion Georgetown against Big East rival Villanova in a matchup that most felt would end in another title for John Thompson's club. But the Wildcats were unfazed by the Hoya mystique and played a perfect game. Using defense, ball control, and high-percentage shots, Raleigh Massimino's squad went a record 22 of 28 from the field and shocked the nation.
Jensen out of bounds with it, and thinks it might not have got much of a break. It comes inbounds, and that's it. It's 66-64. Villanova upsets the Hoyas of Georgetown, and Villanova wins the NCAA championship.
And as an 8th seed, they're the highest seed to ever cut down the nets as a champion. With another great moment in tournament history, I'm Kevin Kugler.
(46-38) Auburn leading Florida as we wind our way towards the start of the second half. Let's check the halftime stats sponsored by Barbasol. Feeling great starts with a great shave, and great shaves start with Barbasol shaving cream. For whatever your day brings, choose Barbasol. It's a can of can-do. The story for Auburn, Janai Broome, fast start, fast finish. In between, didn't have much going, but 12 points and 4 rebounds, enough to lead the way for Auburn in that first half. 8 points for Miles Kelly, 8 points for Chad Baker-Mazzara, also had a fast start. 5 points for Denver Jones and 5 points for Tahad Pettiford. Meanwhile, for Florida, 14 for Clayton, 10 for Martin. Gators shoot 44% from the floor in the first half. Auburn, a robust 51% as they outscore Florida in the paint, 26-14. Time now to connect with our analysts for the second half keys, sponsored by Wago. Trust your game, trust your wiring with Wago Electrical Connectors. Gear up at wago.com/hoops for your next electrical project. Robbie, what do you see for the second half?
Well, if Florida is going to continue to play Janai Broome one-on-one, you just got to throw him the ball and let him go to work. He's got all day. He certainly, with his size, can back these Florida bigs down. Had a great first half, 26-14 advantage, points in the paint. For Florida, you've got to get out. You've got to play in transition. 0 fast break points in that first half. Walter Clayton did his thing with 14. Elijah Martin really good early with 10. Nobody else with more than 5. They have got to get some other guys to come alongside with Clayton.
PJ Carlissimo, what do you see for these two teams?
Well, I see exactly what Robbie's talking about. Nick Baugh talked about it at halftime. You cannot play Janai Broome one-on-one. They've proven that. Maybe it worked in the regular season. It ain't working right here. We've got to change that. Both teams actually are playing one-on-one. The other bigs for Florida, other than Houck, are 1 for 5. We need more Houck. We certainly need more Clayton touches. And the depth that Florida is reputed to have has not been in evidence. Auburn is 9-7 in bench points. Denzel Aberdeen is usually really big off the bench. I think he and Houck have got to step up in the second half.
Well, and in this second half, if you don't get Houck going with those 5 points, it's going to be hard for Florida. I mean, obviously, everybody's going to have their eyes on Walter Clayton Jr. It doesn't seem to matter much, Robbie, because no matter who's watching him or who's trying to guard him, he's able to get to the rim.
And it's kind of a little bit of everything, right? Like, he's been able, even though they haven't been credited with the fast break point, he's been able to force the issue, the secondary break action where he's getting downhill. He's great as a cutter. I really think that's an underrated part of his game. If you overplay him on dribble handoffs, he's taking it right to the rim. And then as a shooter, he is dynamite. So he's done his thing. Other guys, though, in that first game, there are so many other people, even though Elijah Martin didn't play. Will Richard, he's in double figures. Amos Condon, double figures. Thomas Houck, double figures. Aberdeen, like PJ talked about, same thing. So these other guys have got to give him some help.
Without question. And Walter Clayton, he doesn't like to hear this. He usually waits till it's time to put the cape on. Right now, there's a ton of time left, but he's got to pretend it's the last 8 minutes and become a little selfish and a little more aggressive.
Well, once again, before we get the second half started, let's rejoin our courtside reporter, Andy Katz. Andy?
Well, I had a chance to talk to both head coaches. First, let's deal with Auburn head coach Bruce Pearl. He was really thrilled walking into the locker room, looking at the statistics, only 2 turnovers, only 5 offensive rebounds for Florida. And Janai Broome, 12-4. But I'll tell you, right off the bat, he said to me, they're going after his elbow every time. And he literally hit me to show what they're doing to him. So at least he showed it to me, what he thinks is happening here. As for Florida, he says, first of all, and actually one of his assistant coaches was talking to him as we were walking about not being and not following the scouting report. They were very frustrated with how they basically defended this first half, allowing Miles Kelly to get free for a couple of those threes, not doing the pin downs. They've got to do a much better job on twos, saying that Auburn is 13 of 18 on twos. He says they've got to keep them to 50% or below on twos. They've got to limit their turnovers. They had 5. They've got to try to force more, be more aggressive, get some deflections, and make some big shots. But he thinks the first 4 minutes, if they do that, they're back in this game.
All right, Andy, thanks so much. I'm sure that's probably the only time a coach has ever wanted to hit Andy Katz in any way, shape, or form. So probably just a coincidence. Auburn 28-1 when leading at the half. Their only loss was to Tennessee in the SEC tournament on March 15th. And it's time now for the start of the second half, sponsored by Indeed.com. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit. Now, maybe Florida feels more comfortable in this situation than any team in the NCAA tournament. They trailed coming in for over 44 minutes of this tournament, the most by far of any of the Final Four teams, PJ.
Yeah, and maybe that's going to help them, but Todd Golden is not too thrilled. Robbie and I both said the same thing at halftime. I'm really surprised that Auburn is 4 for 15. I didn't realize they took that many threes. That hurt them. You talked about how you heard the Florida assistant say they're killing us on twos. Why are they taking so many threes?
We're ready to get this one started in the second half. A ticket to the national championship game on the line. Auburn's been there one time. They lost to Virginia. They've been in Final Four one time, I should say. They lost to Virginia in 2019. And Florida trying to get back to the championship game for the fourth time in their school history. Chinyelu will work it up to Condon. Condon will drive, working against Broom on the right-hand side. Enters it down low. Chinyelu in the paint. Hook shot up over Caldwell is good. And 2 on the board to bring Florida within 6.
I think if you ask PJ and I, who's this first play going to, Ruben Chinyelu would be the last option right there. But Florida dials up the cross screen, and he delivers.
And Baker Mazzara with a sloppy pass. It's tipped and turned over, and then a foul call. So Baker Mazzara, imagine if you were flipping salt over your shoulder for luck. That's kind of how he threw that pass, just a casual over-the-shoulder pass. It was tipped, and in his frustration, he fouled.
Well, Baker Mazzara is a total wild card, and we saw the good version of him in the first half. He's got to stay with that, has to be solid.
And an interception. Cardwell with the steal for Auburn. Baker Mazzara will bring it up to the right-hand wing. Moving from our right to our left in this second half. Baker Mazzara driving baseline, floater up and down. That might have brought rain as he dropped it in for 2.
A lot of ability in that first half. He really scored the basketball. Good bounce back right there for Baker Mazzara. How about the turnover there from Alex Thomas? He threw that pass like this is 5-on-0.
Clayton will send it over his shoulder to Condon, top of the key 3. Tried to bank that one home. It wouldn't go, and Cardwell with a rebound for Auburn. Took it away from Chinyelu. Baker Mazzara will bring it up the floor. 48-40. Auburn with the lead. Baker Mazzara lost the handle on the ball. Has to send it back to Jones near midcourt. 13 to shoot for Denver Jones. Jones a right-hand dribble over to the right side. Richard in front of him, feeding it to Broom. Condon defending. Broom facing, driving, baseline, spins, baseline, shot, no. But a foul called underneath against Condon. And for Condon, that is his second personal.
Well, Thomas Houck making his way to the scorer's table now. One-on-one coverage like we talked about at the break, and Condon is just getting knocked back a good couple feet. As Janai Broom is delivering these blows, there's just no way that physically they can match what he's bringing.
To the line goes Janai Broom. 2 for 2 tonight. He's got 12 points. First free throw for Broom is good. Download the all-new Westwood One Sports app and catch every remaining minute of the men's and women's tournaments anytime, anywhere. And be sure to keep the app on your mobile device year-round as we bring you prime-time NFL action next fall. Get the Westwood One Sports app today for iOS and Android. Broom's second free throw. Dies on the back iron. No good. Chinyelu climbing the glass to get it. 49-40. Auburn by 9. Florida with the ball. Clayton on the attack. Driving inside. Gets to 8 feet. Stops. Kicks out to Houck. Back out now to Clayton on the left-hand wing. They'll reset with 15 to shoot the ball. Poke free and another Florida turnover. Chad Baker Mazzara pushing it up the floor to Miles Kelly. Kelly driving baseline. High floater off the side of the backboard. Chinyelu changed that shot with his long arms, and Clayton will push it up the floor for Florida. Clayton, a little hesitation, spins back up top to Houck. 3 on the left wing. That's short. Rebound. Richard rips it down for Florida. Driving to the well. Layup is good, and a foul. What a play by Will Richard to try to right the ship for the Gators and bring them within 7.
Well, with Richard's size at 6'4", he is not afraid to fly in there. Averages over 4 rebounds a game. No block out. Dylan Cardwell had to run Thomas Houck to get a contest on that three-point shot. Big-time effort by Richard. Free throw is good for the three-point play.
And a 6-point Auburn lead, 49-43, 17:45 to go in this one. Denver Jones brings it up for Auburn around the screen. Curls to the free throw line. Fades away from there. A little bit strong on the fadeaway. There's Richard again with a man's rebound. Just ripping it down with 2 hands. Starts it to Clayton. Steps left. 4-3. Got it! Clayton with a 3. Florida within 3. 49-46. The first blow landed by the Gators in the second half.
Way too casual, though, by the Auburn defense. With Walter Clayton, you've got to find him once he crosses half court. Not good enough. Cardwell there initially, but Clayton getting away.
Jones now hand to Kelly on the right-hand wing. And Kelly has his pocket pick. It's Richard again. Richard on the drive. All the way to the rim. Scoop shot. No, he wanted a foul. Didn't get it from Kelly. and Cardwell grabs the rebound.
It's a terrific effort by Richard, but it looks like he might have lost the ball going up as he tried to wheel that ball around. Lost control. Auburn finds a way to get a stop.
Jones will bring it up. Broom trying to back down Houck on the right-hand block extended. Banging his way into the paint, turns, jumper off the back iron, no. Broom had a hand on the rebound, but Chinyalu tracks it down for Florida.
Credit Houck because he's taking a beating right there. Had to match the physicality of Broom.
Martin, three, left wing, got it! We're tied! A 9-0 Gator run to knot it at 49. Auburn will bring it up. Todd Golden on the floor, stomping his feet, clapping his hands. His team's back even in the national semifinal. Kelly driving right side lane. Houck with the challenge. Shot won't go. Chinyalu with the rebound. Florida on the run. Houck has it stripped out of his hands and out of bounds off the leg of Richard. It caroms off his leg as he tried to secure it. It'll be Auburn basketball. And there's a timeout on the court sponsored by Progressive Insurance. You could say big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com. What a start. An 11-3 run to start the second half. Tied at 49 between Florida and Auburn. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
If you've never had a chip cooked in beef tallow, get ready. Masa chips are made the old school way. No seed oils, no weird ingredients, just real food, corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed tallow. The crunch is insane, the taste is real, and you actually feel good after eating them. Because staying on top of your game starts with what you put in your body. Go to MasaChips.com and use code MM30 for 30% off your first order. Masa Chips, real ingredients, unreal crunch.
Hey, weekend warriors, how's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in. Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails and turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
The NFL Draft presented by Bud Light is coming to Green Bay. Don't miss your chance to experience the ultimate NFL fan fest.
Unbelievable atmosphere.
For free. Featuring player appearances, photo opportunities, fan experiences, live music, and more. Be there as the future of the NFL takes the stage in Titletown. April 24th through the 26th. Register for free entry at NFL.com/draft access today.
So that they're able to weather any storm. Trees for the Future trains farmers to rethink farming and use trees to flatten the curve on environmental harm while improving their nutrition and income. Let's come together to build a better future for communities in need and the planet. Learn more at trees.org/radio. That's TREES.org/radio. This message is sponsored by Trees for the Future.
You can listen to the live stream of every remaining moment of both the men's and women's tournaments on the Westwood One Sports app and WestwoodOneSports.com. Sponsored by Masa Chips. Classic tortilla chips fried in 100% grass-fed beef tallow. No seed oils, no fake ingredients, just real crunch. Code MM30 gets you 30% off your first order at MasaChips.com. 9-0 Gator run their first run of better than 5-0 today. 4 for 7 in the second half from the floor for Florida. 1 for 5 for Auburn with 4 straight misses.
Well, and Ruben Chinyalu might have gotten the first basket of the half, but it's been the Florida guards that have gotten them back in this game. The Will Richard and one, the Walter Clayton 3 in transition, Elijah Martin knocking one down, and after a really first half where they struggled, you look at the way Florida's come out here, what a haymaker to throw coming out of the half.
And now Auburn to work in the left-hand offensive zone. Tahad Pettiford off the bench, trying to bring some energy. On the run, his ball just taken away by Chinyalu. Tried to cross-court pass it, and Chinyalu just said, no way. Clayton will bring it up the floor around a Houck screen. Stops, now drives all the way to the rim. Layup is good. Florida leads for the first time since 23-22. It's 51-49. Gators, Clayton with 19.
That is big-time stop and start. The hesitation on display. Walter Clayton only 6'3", but he finishes like he's way bigger than that.
There's Janai Broom, left block, gets past Chinyalu, gets the bucket. Chinyalu trying to recover, and he commits the personal foul.
Chinyalu couldn't believe that he was called. He kind of had surrendered on the play. Now it's one-on-one coverage again. And Janai Broom is just doing whatever he wants out there. Yeah, Chinyalu kind of get out of the way. Broom jumps right back into him. I can't believe that's called.
So Broom with one more at the line. PJ, you surprised by that whistle?
Surprised is a nice way of putting it. There was no foul. There was no foul. It shouldn't have been called. Ridiculous.
Free throw is no good. Chinyalu the rebound, tied at 51. On the move is Martin down the right side of the lane. Stops inside the three-point arc. Looking around, needs some help. Pivots to Houck, 13 to shoot. Houck trying to attack. Blocked off by Johnson. Finds Martin right corner. Air ball from three, no good. And the rebound, Chaney Johnson for Auburn.
That possession was going nowhere. Nobody came over to help the ball handler, and then Elijah Martin shoots an air ball.
Hannaford will walk it up on a bounce to Kelly. Kelly on the left wing, and there's an injured Auburn player. There was a collision underneath, and Denver Jones is holding his head. They are going to go look at the monitor, I am sure, to see if there was some sort of flagrant situation underneath with the head and neck area as a little elbow came in, I think from Chinyalu, as he was trying to clear away from Broom. And PJ, they're going to go right to the monitor to check this one out.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he was trying to work over the screen, but Chinyalu is so much bigger that his contact, all of the contact occurred above the shoulder. So, I mean, he knocked his head back. Be surprised, Robbie, if they don't upgrade this one.
Just because the contact, it's excessive, and it's not a dirty play by Chinyalu. He's trying to get over this rip screen, and he's thinking, I've got to fight for my life against Janai Broom, but it's an elbow to the ear of Denver Jones. And I'm with you, PJ. I think this very well could be a flagrant one.
He's too big. Unfortunately, the contact occurs so high on the body because Chinyalu's so much bigger.
And, of course, if it is a flagrant one, right now it's just a common foul. If it is a flagrant one, it's 2 foul shots and the ball for Auburn. So as it stands right now, it's just a foul on the floor, which would mean an Auburn inbound, as it's just the third team foul on Florida in the second half. But if it gets upgraded to the flagrant one, Auburn's going to get 2 free throws and the ball in a tie game with 14:38 to play in the national semifinal.
Denver Jones is going to be feeling that. We've seen the replay a couple times, and that elbow right to the ear is something that's not fun.
Well, remember, we're talking about a 6'10", 260-pound block of muscle that is Ruben Chinyalu. Like, if you told me Ruben Chinyalu was going to go play defensive end someday, I would not be the least bit surprised by it. He is a large, strong individual. He has certainly found where the Florida weight room is.
Well, and the way that Denver Jones goes down like a sack of potatoes there. He's laying on the floor. It was immediate. The officials saw it. Now taking a look at it, a long look.
I hate to say it. They're not debating whether it's a flagrant one. They're debating whether it even goes all the way to 2, which I think would be extremely unfortunate.
Agreed.
But I think that's what they're talking about.
I think that's why it's taken so long. I think you're totally right.
Well, the flagrant 2 is not only excessive contact, but severe and extreme contact with an opponent while the ball is live. And the difference in that is it completely changes the game because Chinyalu is ejected in that circumstance if it is a flagrant 2.
And I feel that would be excessive. I think a flagrant 1, I could see it. I think a flagrant 2 would be a little bit extreme here.
Here we go. Roger Ayers about to tell us.
After review, the ruling on the floor has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul. White 2 will be shooting 2 shots. Auburn have the ball on the baseline.
Florida fans are complaining, but if they knew what we saw, which was the debate was between a flagrant 1 and a flagrant 2, I doubt they would grumble as much as they did when that call was announced.
You need all the size of the 4 Florida bigs to fight Janai Broom over the next 14:38.
So Jones goes to the line, 1 for 3 tonight, and he hits the first free throw. Make this spring a stylish one with on-trend looks for every occasion when you shop at Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. Both free throws good for Jones. Auburn by a pair, 53-51. Now they will go to work with the basketball. It's Chaney Johnson on the right baseline to inbound for Auburn. Johnson a bounce into the corner, a little bobble, but Kelly secures it right corner with Clayton on his hip. Feeds it over to Pettiford. Pettiford trying to find room to split. Backs up for a three. Instead, the rebound loose, and a foul is called on Chaney Johnson of Auburn, trying to go through that ball.
Does anybody remember the first half? This half doesn't even resemble the first 20 minutes. We got a new basketball game here.
Well, and I know Tahad Pettiford can make that, PJ, but any possession where it's not going inside to Janai Broome right now is a wasted one.
Richard will set it up on the right-hand side. Feeds up top to Hanlogton. Clayton now gives off to Houck. Houck penetrating from the top of the key. Brings it over to the left side. Looking. Finds Hanlogton at the top. 8 to shoot. Nothing doing for Florida. Push pass over to the right side. And Aberdeen. 4 to shoot. 3 to shoot. Aberdeen on the drive against Jones. Using the window. Got a decent look late in the shot clock. And it's tipped out of bounds by Auburn. Florida got the shot up, gets a new 20, and they'll inbound down to 53-51.
Well, that was good defense there by Denver Jones of getting over the screen, Warren right over the top, getting the contest, making the shooter kind of hang there. And that Denzel Aberdeen, a guy that can certainly score the basketball, and Denver Jones right there up to the task, one-on-one defense.
Will inbound to Hanlogton. He stands top of the key, dribbling over to his right side now, weaving it into the right corner. Will Richard trying to find some space, picked up against by Janai Broome. Wants to drive on Broome and a double dribble. He tried to back up, a double dribble, and a turnover by Will Richard.
It's like he lost the ball. He was trying to step back and shoot a three. He lost the ball, secured it. Wait, but he didn't ever put a second hand on it.
No, I thought he picked it up.
He just started dribbling it.
And Todd Golden's really upset. I agree. He fumbled the ball, and then he just continued to dribble.
Pick it up.
There's Pettiford over the left side. Stops, trying to feed it to Broome inside. And Broome, as he was cutting diagonal through the lane, was held up by Houck. That'll be a foul on Houck, and Auburn will inbound.
That's one where Houck has just got to be a little more to the ball. You get the first tag there with Richard, and Houck is trying, you're worried about the shooting. You're trying to get out, but you've got to take away that roll, man. And honestly, Janai Broome is 1, 2, and 3 on the scouting report with the way he's played.
And a jarring blow to that elbow again on the foul from Houck. The lob in to Chaney Johnson in the paint. He brought the ball down. Richard swats it out of his hands. Still loose on the floor. Johnson from one knee. And Richard takes it again.
Like Will Richard just never quit on that play, and that's the perfect example as why, as a big, you don't bring the ball down or put it on the floor.
And a whistle and an offensive foul on the other end. As Clayton dribbled it up the floor, they pick up a foul for an illegal screen, and it'll go back the other way.
And I'll thank Gene Steratore. What he explained to us is you can't dribble, fumble, and then dribble. It sounds crazy. You can fumble it, you can dribble it, and then you
That's
fumble
interesting, because it didn't even really look like anything.
Exactly, but he said they were correct.
Interesting.
So back it up now, and Tahad Pettiford will work in the left-hand offensive zone with Auburn up to 53-51. The skip from Jones up top to Broome. Broome back to Jones, reposting his Broome on the left side. Now facing the basket, driving baseline against Hanlogton through traffic, throws it at the rim on the right side. It's short. Houck gathers up the rebound. He'll bring it up the floor. Finding Aberdeen on the left wing. 12:40 to go in this second half. Houck over to the right side against Chaney Johnson. Trying to clear some space. Hanlogton now at the top to Aberdeen. Sets a screen. Aberdeen bump. Gets to the free throw line. Ball poked away. Pettiford with the steal.
And Pettiford right there for just staying right there in the play. There's such a physical drive off the pick and roll, and Pettiford never quit on it. A little back tap from behind again.
No points since that 11-0 run for Florida. The drought began at the 15:30 mark. Entry, it comes in. Chaney Johnson got great position mid-lane, and he just turned around and feathered it over the front of the rim. On the attack, Clayton drives, and he's fouled by Pettiford.
I love the way that Auburn runs flex because it's become so modern with the way they've done it. They're really running it to get themselves in advantageous spots, but
Chaney Johnson sets that flex screen, PJ, and then just flashes right to the ball.
And poor Walter Clayton got in there and said, why am I defending this guy? What am I doing under here?
Switch those cross screens at your own risk is what that is.
That kind of looked like Kevin Kugler trying to defend Robbie Hummel underneath.
I'd like that matchup, I think. I think you probably would, although I'm a dirty player. Clayton will inbound over the left side, and Mark. Well, Robbie got pounded in pickleball today by a writer. Alex Condon over to the left-hand side, feeding it up top to Aberdeen. Aberdeen working over to Chinyelu. Chinyelu into the right corner to Clayton. 11 to shoot. Clayton fadeaway three. Falling out of bounds. Clayton throws it at the rim, and it finds its home. 55-54. Auburn's lead down to 1.
All Chad Baker-Mazara can do, Kevin, is tip his cap. I mean, he is right there. It was almost like a double clutch. Just a high degree of difficulty on the shot making from Walter Clayton.
Kelly working over to Jones. Jones driving into the paint. Jump stop. Wraparound pass. Down low. Cardwell with the hammer. And it's 57-54. Auburn's lead is 3. Clayton to walk it up. Driving, Clayton all the way inside, felt the contact, threw it at the rim. Clayton went into the stanchion. Up after the foul is Denver Jones. A physical second half and a timeout on the floor. With the score, Auburn 57, Florida 54, 11-12 to the national title game. You're listening to the men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get...
Get 5 quarts of O'Reilly Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $29.99. In-store only. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind zero-turn and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow. Available at participating dealers.
Auburn 57, Florida 54, 11-12 remaining in the second half. Once again, let's rejoin our courtside reporter, Andy Katz.
All right, thank you, Kevin. I'm here with 2 special guests who know this building very well from 2018. John Beilein, the former Michigan head coach, and Porter Mosier, who then was the head coach of Loyola Chicago, now the head coach of Oklahoma. Porter, I'll start with you first on the SEC. You faced both Florida and Auburn during this season. What made coaching against them so challenging?
I think what everyone courtside is seeing is what we saw as coaches in the SEC. The positional size and length of these SEC teams combined with the shot-making ability. Walter Clayton Jr., Jones, Martin. But the positional athleticism throughout the roster is just unbelievable.
2018, Michigan, Loyola Chicago, national semifinal. John, what do you remember most inside this building?
I don't remember much about it. You're in such a daze now. I wish I would have looked around and enjoyed it more, Andy, because it doesn't happen very often. And now when you're watching, you say, were we really here? It's hard to picture yourself over there on the sidelines.
All chalk, 4 number ones. Last time was 08. So we got 4 number ones here. You were here with Loyola Chicago, a Cinderella. What are the chances we could see that again?
Oh, I think it's going to happen. I just think, in sports, all these things happen. You hope for it. You root for it. Now that I'm in a Power 4, I don't hope for it. But it's great. And just like Coach Beilein, it's so surreal to get to this stage, walking in here going, we were just sitting right across that court competing against each other. It's surreal.
And how is Sister Jean?
I was at her 105th birthday party. She turns 106 this August, and she's still blessing everybody.
All right, how about that? 106 coming up. Back to you guys.
All right, Andy, thanks so much. We can only hope, Robbie, that Andy Katz will live to 106 and longer.
Yes, we hope so.
57-54, Auburn by 3 over Florida with 11-12 remaining.
He will still be working for 13 different networks at that point in time.
I've got 4 minutes here. I could do a report. Clayton will go to the line after the foul on Jones. The first free throw is good. Kevin Kugler, Robbie Hummel, PJ Carlissimo here at our Granger courtside seats in San Antonio. Need a buzzer beater to keep your team moving forward? Count on Granger for fast delivery of industrial-grade supplies. When the game's on the line, call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. 57-56, Clayton good on both free throws. 1 point game, Auburn coming up on 11 to play in this second half. Pettiford will bring it over to the right side of Mazzara. Mazzara hands it off. Carwell on the drive to the rim, went up for the dunk, and he couldn't get it. It's rebounded by Aberdeen. He'll start it to Clayton. A little shot fake. Clayton's pirouette, spins back. A three is blocked by Baker Mazzara. And up the floor comes Auburn off the miss. Pettiford, a little hesitation. Drives inside from right to left. Tried to wrap it around through three Gators, and it's deflected out of bounds, and it'll belong to Auburn.
18-11 in favor of Florida second half. Walter Clayton has 10 points in the second half,
including that ridiculous three in the corner.
He got the message.
Well, and he's going to have to do that, but he's going to need some help too. We talked a little bit about that. Somebody's got to come alongside with him.
And a turnover on the inbound. Chad Baker Mazzara had Pettiford cutting, and Pettiford wanted to pass higher up.
Bruce Pearl is livid on the sideline. Some missed opportunities both ways. Some opportunities here to take advantage. I do like the fact, though, Alex Condon was who contested that dunk at the rim. Would have been an easy basket for Dylan Cardwell. He denies it. They need him to be a factor in the second half.
There's Clayton to Condon. Back it goes to Clayton, down by one. Clayton on the drive, gets left block, feeds it back up top. Chinyelu will work it over to Aberdeen. Three, top of the key. That's off the right side. No, Chinyelu, offensive rebound, brought it down, and it's poked out of his hands, but it ends up right in the hands of Martin for Florida. Aberdeen working against Shaney Johnson, leaning into Johnson, muscles up a shot short, but the foul on Johnson, who bit on the little shoulder fake, and to the line goes Denzel Aberdeen for a pair.
Well, it's just such a smart play by Aberdeen to use his physicality. I mean, he's getting to the body of Cardwell immediately. You jump stop, you're under control, you've got options, you show it, you get the big foul in the air, and you earn a trip to the foul line.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships. First free throw missed by Aberdeen. Third miss of the night for Florida. 13 of 16 at the line. Spruce is a new weed and grass killer with 9 simple yet effective ingredients that are safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spruce works differently by dehydrating the weed down to the roots. Second free throw is good. We're tied at 57. Clayton's getting a breather right now. Maybe there until the under 8 timeout before he's on, I'm guessing, for the rest of the game. Pettiford will bring it up from right to left. Jumps the pass to Bloom. Loose in the middle of the floor. Taken away by Martin. Roping to the other end for the one-hand jam. Florida by 2, 59-57.
That's a total unforced error there on the pick and pop. Throwing it back to Bloom. How about Elijah Martin, though, coming from the left corner and picking that thing off?
Cardwell driving in from the right side diagonal as he started to go up for the shot. Will Richard reaching in and commits the personal foul. Each team now with 6 second half turnovers in this ball game. And to the line goes Cardwell to shoot free throws after the foul on Richard, his second.
Well, Elijah Martin, the fact that he comes from the left corner and beats Bloom to that ball, Cardwell first free throw rims out no good. He's going to have quite the poster, regardless of what happens. I mean, with the crowd in the background, the cameras in front of us, that's going to be quite the image there. Heck of a play.
Cardwell back to the line. 59-57. Second free throw is good. 1 for 2 goes Cardwell. 59-58. It's a 1-point game in San Antonio. Aberdeen will work this one up. Feeds it over to Chinyelu. The handoff to Martin. Martin on the right-hand side to Condon. Condon on the perimeter. Dribbles into the right corner to Richard. Richard with 10 on the shot clock. He's got Kelly in front of him in the right corner. Feeds it to Condon, right block. He'll bring it right back up top to Aberdeen. 4 to shoot. Bounces it back to Condon. Hesitates. Got room in the air. Throws a shot off the glass. Won't go. Rebound put back up by Chinyelu. That won't go. And we've got a whistle and a stoppage. I believe there may have been an inadvertent whistle. No, they're going to call foul on Chinyelu. And if it is on Chinyalu, and I believe it is, that's his fourth.
Alex Condon looks like a guy that has totally lost his confidence. I mean, just he's actually did a great thing of going and getting a dribble hand up. He's hit on the short roll. That's got to be your little in-between floater shot right there. He just, I don't know what's happened to him here.
Rob, I'm telling you, the very first possession when they let Janai Broom bounce the ball about 6 times and he scored on him. And when they went down, Janai Broom was in his face saying, like, I got you. And it really hasn't changed since then.
Set the tone.
The foul was on Cardwell of Auburn. Chinyalu to the line, hits the first free throw to stretch the lead to 2, 60-58. One more for Chinyalu. No good on that free throw. Cardwell with the rebound. Hands it to Pettiford. Auburn down a pair, walking it up. 9 minutes to go in this one. Pettiford sending it over to the left side and Kelly. Now Pettiford will back this one up. Pettiford dribbling against Aberdeen. Condon picks him up on a switch. Feeds inside to Cardwell. Fakes the shot. 4 to shoot. Needs some help. Gets it out to Kelly. Dribbles down the baseline with 1 to shoot. Tried to pass it off, and it's out of bounds. It'll be a shot clock violation and a turnover by Auburn. That is turnover number 7 in this second half.
We'll give a lot of credit there to Florida's defense, just staying connected with the ball handler, being there in help position, helping the helper. There's just nowhere to go, and Miles Kelly had no clue where that shot clock was at.
Condon into Clayton. He'll walk this one up, 8:35 and counting. Condon over to the left side. Ball pops free. Condon able to get it back. Chinyalu at the top. Chinyalu working over to Clayton. 12 to shoot. Jumps it to Condon. Wanted the 3. Turns it down. Cardwell jumped out on him. Hands it off now to Richard. Richard with 5 to shoot. Got more in the air. The jumper won't go. Rebound loose. Poked into the arms of Broom.
I thought Richard could have went right into that. That defender had left his feet. He stepped through. He probably could have jumped into him and drawn a foul.
Pettiford will walk this one up for Auburn. Jones will enter it to Broom. Left block extended. Broom trying to back down against Condon. 1-on-1. Chinyalu lurking if they want to bring a double, and it's poked out of his hands. Broom able to grab it. As he goes down with Condon on the floor, the foul is called. Timeout on the floor. Condon will be whistled for his 3rd personal foul. And a timeout in San Antonio. 7:47 to go second half. Florida 60, Auburn 58. You're listening to the men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Empower. Nick bought a new guitar, a 62 American Classic Electric. Does he know how to play? No. But Nick's Empower investment account has performed well. He got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. This is a really good guitar solo.
Have you heard? Kohl's has 2 exclusive new home brands, Miriana and Mingle & Co. From luxe favorites that are all about turning your space into a sanctuary to fun mix and match dining essentials, there's so much to discover. And trust me, you're gonna love everything. Plus, you can get an extra 20% off throughout the store during our Friends and Family sale. So hurry to Kohl's today and bring it all home for less. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends April 6th. See store at Kohls.com for details.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Pluto TV has all the shows and movies you love streaming for free. Feel the free with all your favorites. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Tracker, The Walking Dead, Defiance, and more. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
60-58, Florida by a pair. 7:47 to play in this second half. Let's check some of the numbers sponsored by GoodRx. Check GoodRx for simple, smart savings on weight loss medications and other prescriptions at GoodRx.com. 24 points for Walter Clayton Jr. leads all scores. 15 points for Janai Broom. 10 for Chad Baker-Mazzara. In the second half, Florida 7 of 16 from the floor. Auburn 4 of 11 from the floor. Auburn 0 for 1, P.J. Carlosimo from three-point line.
Well, and that's a little bit of a function of we keep saying, why are they not doubling Janai Broome? Well, if you don't double them, they're not going to get as many threes. But the way Auburn was shooting threes in the first half, I don't think that's a bad thing. Both defenses have taken hold. It's really a struggle now for both teams offensively. We had that initial Florida flurry. Since then, points are hard to come by. I would never criticize or contradict Robbie, but I would contradict you.
Yep.
That shot that Walter Clayton made was not a fair. It was a horrible shot.
Man.
Didn't even touch the rim. Buried it right there. He's amazing. Nobody else can deal with the defense but Walter Clayton.
Yeah, he's played like a first-team All-American. Janai Broome, on the other hand, in this second half, just 3 points, 1 of 3 from the field. Florida actually leads in terms of second-half scoring, 8-6 on points in the paint. And then we talked about Walter Clayton has done his thing, but the others in the second half have brought it as well. Clayton with 10 second-half points. All others have given them 12. So Florida's got some contributions from other guys as well.
46 first-half points for Auburn, 12 second-half points for Auburn. Broome will inbound left baseline for the Tigers. Condon in his face, trying to cause problems. Gets it to Pettiford. The ball looses, slips right out of the hands of Pettiford, and it's knocked out of bounds by Richard. It'll belong to Florida. Now, Courtney Green's going to come over and talk with Tony Padilla, and it'll stay on this end of the floor.
That would have been the second time where we've seen Auburn on an out-of-bounds play throw it off somebody's leg. It's a great cut by Pettiford, but we see it looks like that maybe rolls off the leg of Elijah Martin. Todd Golden not happy.
He felt that perhaps that wasn't the case.
I think he wanted a foul.
So now Broome will inbound. Now Broome on the
Somebody's
right
got
block.
to get open here.
Here's Pettiford in the right corner. Gets it to the right side of the lane. Pirouettes, tough spinning
awful
shot from the corner. Gets it back on the offensive board from Cardwell. Pettiford will feed it to Baker Mazzara for 3, and it's good. Chad Baker Mazzara with nothing happening at all. Hits a 3, and Auburn leads 61-60.
Those second chance opportunities we saw in the first half. You spray it out to a shooter, and we saw Baker Mazzara and Bruce Pearl earlier having a very animated discussion. He responds right there.
Here's Condon dribbling top of the key to Martin. Martin trying to turn the right corner. Blocked off. Feeds it to Houck. Houck's been quiet. Driving inside. His shot won't go. The foul called, though. Cardwell came over and blocked the shot. But the foul underneath will send him to the free throw line for a pair.
That's such a tough action to guard. They love the roll and replace for Houck, and because Houck can shoot it or put it on the floor, you got to try to take him out of rhythm, but you've got to contain the bounce as well. Good action by Florida and a tough cover for Dylan Cardwell.
Out to the line. First free throw is good. Out to 6 points and 5 rebounds in this ball game. Tied at 61. The foul on Cardwell, his third. Condon will leave. Chinyelu back on the floor for the Gators.
Houck a quiet night after just detonating for tying a career-high 20 against Texas Tech in the Elite Eight.
They're not here if Houck doesn't score 20 and get 11 rebounds.
He's had a
in that
monster
game.
NCAA tournament.
He has. Free throws are good. Florida by 1. Auburn basketball. Pettiford up the floor from right to left. Over to the right side, Chad Baker Mazzara in the corner. Drops it to Broome, who lobs it to Dylan Cardwell. Big to big alley-oop. And it's 63-62, Auburn by 1.
I love Janai Broome there with the short roll because Florida's trying to keep it on the side. The short roll is there. You hit him, and he just throws it up for Dylan Cardwell on the cut.
14 lead changes in this one as Houck pivots, drives inside, slithers to the rim, past Broome, and he lays it in. Lead change number 15, and a timeout taken by Florida, up 1, 64-63.
How about Ruben Chinyelu there just ducking in and taking away the opportunity to help? You get a matchup you like with Thomas Houck. He's guarding Broome, but Chinyelu makes the play physically.
Timeout on the floor. Florida 64, Auburn 63. You're listening to the men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy.
Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Lowe's knows member-only doorbuster deals make SpringFest savings even better. Right now, rewards members can get 3 19.3-ounce Bonnie Plants vegetables and herbs for just $10. Plus, save $50 on a Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner grill, now $149. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/7, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location, subject to change while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms.
Have you heard? Kohl's has 2 exclusive new home brands, Miriana and Mingle & Co. From luxe favorites that are all about turning your space into a sanctuary to fun mix and match dining essentials, there's so much to discover. And trust me, you're gonna love everything. Plus, you can get an extra 20% off throughout the store during our Friends and Family sale. So hurry to Kohl's today and bring it all home for less. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends April 6th. See store at Kohls.com for details.
Hey, weekend warriors, how's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in. Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails. Turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Florida 64, Auburn 63. 6:29 remaining in the second half in San Antonio, the 2025 NCAA Men's Final Four. Let's check the attendance here in the Aladome, sponsored by Uber Eats. Uber Eats is delivering game day deals from hundreds of your local favorites all week. Order now on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details. There are 62,945 in attendance here in San Antonio. They're being treated to a whale of a ball game. 64-63, 18 fouls on Auburn, 16 fouls against Florida. 3 timeouts remain for the Tigers, 2 left for Florida.
I think we all expected just a heavyweight basketball game with 2 of the best from the SEC regular season champion Auburn Tigers, the SEC tournament champion Florida Gators, and we have been treated to quite the game here in the second half. 6:29 to go, 1-point game. What more could you want with a ticket to the national championship game on the line?
Jamie Johnson will start up the offense with Jones and Baker Mazar. Baker Mazar at the top around a Broom screen. Jumps it with a no-look to Pettiford in the right corner. Feeding it to Broom on the right elbow. Broom trying to go to work against Chinyalu. Trying to spin against him. Fades away from 8. Caught the side of the rim and dropped into the arms of Chinyalu.
Well, I will say we had some questions about Florida's game plan, but these Florida Gator bigs have held up and made life tough on Janai Broom one-on-one.
Yeah, he has really struggled. 6 of 14 from the floor. Hauk will step back 3. Top of the key. Rolls off no good. Bodies fall underneath the basket, going for the rebound. No whistle as Pettiford brings it up for Auburn. He'll attack quickly. Tried to jump it over to Broom. It's tipped into the corner to Jones. Waits for Hauk to fly by. Launches the 3. That's no good. And then a foul is called. Broom working against Richard.
They called it travel.
And they called the travel, not the foul. Richard goes down and looked like with a forearm shiver from Janai Broom. Instead, they call him for the travel.
We're seeing the replay. Boy, it looks like Janai Broom just takes his arm off there. I can't believe that wasn't a foul, and neither can Will Richard.
Inbound, right baseline for Chaney Johnson now. Hands it off to Pettiford. Pettiford stripped out of his hands by Chinyalu. What hands by the big man? Ahead to Martin. Run into the rim. One-hand hammer. His second magical dunk of the Final Four. Florida with a 66-63 lead.
With the shot blockers for Auburn coming, and they're one of the best in college basketball at doing that, you better go to dunk it. Elijah Martin turns it over and tears the rim off.
Janai Broom stumbling, lost the handle on the basketball. Hauk ahead to Martin. Will he do it again? No, dumps it to Hauk instead, who fumbles it out of bounds. There was one Auburn Tiger back. It was Chaney Johnson who got in the way, and Chaney Johnson broke up a 3-on-1.
Think of the first 3 minutes of the second half. Florida had 2 other opportunities, 2-on-1 or 3-on-1. That's 3 advantage fast breaks they've been unable to finish, created by their excellent defense.
And in a 3-point game, those plays or missed opportunities loom so large. Denver Jones will bring it up the floor. Jones now to Chad Baker-Mazara. He'll explode to the rim. Blocked inside, but a foul called. Hauk went up for the rejection. Todd Golden went from one end of the floor, stomping to the corner, his face beat red, shaking his head, absolutely furious at the whistle underneath.
It's just Chad Baker-Mazara turns down the pick and roll. You got Hauk coming over, and I guess you could maybe argue the body, but it's clean up top. Todd Golden is irate right now with Courtney Green.
I'm sorry, Courtney Green. That is a block shot, man. I want to defend you. I cannot.
Yeah, no, that's a bad call.
Baker-Mazara good on the free throw. One more to come after the foul, the second on Hauk, and the crowd seeing it again in the arena. The bench for Florida reacting. It is not helping Todd Golden's mood by seeing it again. You know when you get that food that doesn't quite smell right and you kind of don't like it? That's the look on Todd Golden's face right now. That, ew, what am I eating? Both free throws good. Auburn within 1, 66-65. Clayton will go to work, brings it up the floor to Hauk. Hauk now dribbles over to the right-hand wing. He'll back this one out. Weaves around to the left side. Clayton is there, gets the catch, fires the 3, rolls it home. When you need a bucket, it's Clayton time. 27 for Walter Clayton Jr. Big time shot. And it's 69-65. Florida, their largest lead. Baker-Mazara contested 3 on the other end. It pinballs out, and the rebound out of bounds off the hands of Chinyelu. It'll belong to Auburn with 4:10 to go in the second half.
On that Clayton 3, I love the way that Hauk, he's just dribbling around just off the free throw line, and he is trying to set the table for Clayton. He dribbles it over to the left side of the floor, loops that dribble handoff right back around, and if you're not up to switch it, Walter Clayton is letting it fly.
Condon back in for Chinyelu. 4:10 to go in the ballgame. Broom will inbound, and it's almost taken away by Martin again.
Auburn has been way too casual on these under out of bounds plays.
That would have been the 3rd turnover if Florida was able to get it on a baseline out of bounds. Johnson now will switch with Broom. He'll inbound. 19 to shoot. The inbound comes for Chad Baker-Mazara at the top of the key. And a bounce back, it goes to Johnson, working against Hauk. Double team shows. Swing around to the right side. 3 is up for Jones, and it's good. Jones with a 3 on the right wing. And Auburn within 1 again, 69-68. Here's Clayton. Jab step, drives all the way to the rim. Layup, pinballs out, no good. Got all the way up, and it would not fall. Kelly with a rebound.
And those are plays that we've seen Clayton make all game long, of getting downhill and finishing over the top of shot blockers. Really good drive, but that one just rims off.
Denver Jones will hand to Broom. Baker-Mazara curling around the Broom screen, gets to the right elbow. Floater won't go. Martin rips down the rebound. Martin on the run, one-on-one against Jones. Auburn back quickly. He'll feed it to Richard. 3 top of the key. Rolls out. Rebound Condon. Underneath. Condon bumped and a foul. Timeout on the floor. Chaney Johnson picks up his 4th personal foul as we go to the under 4 media timeout. 69-68. Florida by 1 with 3:20 to go. You're listening to the men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on my plan and my home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on my plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Here's Comedians and Skechers Getting Comfortable, presented by Hands Free Skechers Slip-In.
Hey, I'm Bobby Slayton, and I'm here with my pal, comedian, and Skechers ambassador, Mr. Howie Mandel.
Why did it take so long to invent something as amazing as slip-ins? I know it seems simple, but it took Skechers to invent a better pair of shoes.
Yep, with Skechers slip-ins, you just step it and go. You don't have to touch your shoes. And by the way, slip-ins are for the whole family, men, women, and kids. In all your favorite Skechers styles, find Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
The NCAA Men's Final Four. Every whoop, high five, shout, and holler gets your team one step closer to the promised land. Any questions?
Professor, are we ready?
You prepare to open a can of fandom and cheer like you've never done it before? Oh, you're ready. We're cutting down some nets now. The NCAA Men's Final Four, April 4th and 6th, 2026 in Indianapolis. Apply for seats today at ncaa.com/men's final four.
Tonight's broadcast of the 2025 NCAA Men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the NCAA and Westwood One is strictly prohibited. Florida went on that 11-0 run when Auburn had the 9-point lead. Since that time, each team has had a 4-point lead, but that's as far as they've been able to pull away from either of these two teams, Robbie Hummel. 69-68 right now, Florida by 1.
Yeah, both these teams making plays. The thing about Auburn doing it, though, is it hasn't been Janai Broome. He has not scored since the 15-minute mark in the second half. You look at who's gotten it done. It's been Chad Baker-Mazara. Denver Jones just made a big three off of a Florida gamble. It's been the other guys for Auburn, but you have to think, PJ, with 3:20 to go, this has got to be Janai Broome's time.
I'll tell you what, they're doing a much better job defensively. And Alex Condon, we've been getting on him for his offense, but defensively in the second half, he's been a different player. He's about to shoot the biggest free throw he shot in his young life.
Yes.
Condon 1 for 2 tonight. His one lonely point. It's a 1-and-1, 60% on the year. Condon, third team All-SEC this year, the sophomore from Perth, Australia, who was a big prospect for Aussie football, but then grew out of that sport. Settles in. Free throw number 1, no good. Hard off the back iron. The long rebound ends up with Clayton of Florida. And then the ball picked out of his hands and taken away by Auburn. Quick push ahead to Kelly. Kelly shoots the three. Rolls off. No, rebound tipped to Condon.
Run to the rim. Go get yourself a layup. I know what the analytics say, but boy, if Miles Kelly takes that to the basket, it's a layup.
Clayton driving to the rim. The ball out of his hands and out of bounds. There were 3 Tigers that converged on him on the left block. The ball squirts out of bounds, and it'll belong again to the Auburn Tigers, who are still down 1.
Walter Clayton taking this one in, and honestly, a wild drive. We talked about it a little bit in the first half because Auburn blocked so many shots, 6 a game. If you're getting in there, you've got to understand that guys are putting that or coming over to put that on the board.
Janai Broome on the right wing will start it up for Auburn. Left side to Jones. They get it to Broome, flashing into the post, and a charge is called. Condon, to P.J. Carlissimo's point a moment ago about the young sophomore's defense, Peach, takes the charge there and a turnover back to Florida.
That is one big-time play right there. And Janai Broome, no question, watching the replay, Janai Broome dipped his right shoulder and ran him over.
How about PJ on that rip screen there? He went under on that, beat him to the spot, and then took that charge. Really high-level play.
Clayton now will start it up for Florida. The Gators by 1. 2.5 to play in this one. Clayton is matched up against Cardwell. He likes this matchup against the big man. Blows by him down the right side of the lane. And an uncontested finger roll for 2. 71-68. Florida by 3.
When the moments are the biggest, Walter Clayton has stood the tallest right there. He goes one-on-one with Dylan Cardwell, makes a play off the bounce, help defense can't come over. Walter Clayton getting it done at the rim.
Baker-Mazara swings it to Broome. Oh, thought about the 3, turns it down, gets it back on the bounce, going to the rim, dunk, no, but a foul. He was cutting to the rim, a little 2-man game on a bounce. He drove it down the right side Todd Golden is very unhappy with the call, but Broom's getting 2 free throws here.
Todd Golden is asking them to review it, but you can't review
2:02 to go, yeah.
Well, even if it was
right,
2 to go, you can't review a
foul. Now,
oh, yeah, they are going to take a look at it. Can't be the foul. It's something else.
I'm not sure what they're going to look at here. Todd Golden was adamant that they review this. You can't review possession. Are they reviewing?
It's a definite foul. We're looking at the replay.
I wonder if they're reviewing, did he hang on the rim? Is it offensive basket interference? But I don't know how you call that.
No, he's off the rim.
Yeah.
It's got to be a timing thing, right?
Well, we're going to find out. But, boy, he was out there immediately demanding a review. Bruce Pearl is saying, what are you reviewing? So they're going to tell us here as Roger Ayers will wait for, on the elevated floor, we have to wait for this crane essentially to pull up the TV monitor and the microphone for Roger Ayers.
Previous play is under review for an off-ball possible flagrant foul.
Wow. So he wants an off-ball flagrant foul call here.
So we're looking at the replay. Dylan Cardwell is kind of holding up Thomas Houck, but I think from looking at it that Houck's trying to sell it.
So they're looking at a hook and hold essentially.
Yeah. And they cannot upgrade this to just a common foul. It would have to be hook and hold or so egregious that it would be upgraded to a flagrant one.
Now, you could argue that there should have been a common foul called there, but they cannot go put a common foul on.
Yeah, Cardwell does have his right hand a little bit wrapped around. I think Houck is really trying to sell it.
Yeah. I mean, as much physical play as we've seen in this game.
Yeah, I think it's an initial hold, and then he's kind of off it. But Houck makes it look like he's, being held like crazy.
So here we go. Roger Ayers. See what Roger Ayers says here.
After review, there is no flagrant one foul. By rule, Florida challenged the call on the floor. They will be charged a 30-second timeout. It will be Auburn 2 shots.
Yep, so Florida loses the timeout with the challenge that is unsuccessful. And Florida, they've got one timeout left. So that timeout took them down to 1. Auburn still has 3 in the second half. Both teams over the limit. Double bonus the rest of the way for Florida at the line, and the possession arrow favors the Auburn Tigers.
The problem with a play like that, too, is that even if the player is saying, hey, he flagrantly held me, so often they're not telling the truth. And it's not like they're trying to lie. It's just that the player's first foul shot no good for Broom. The players don't always have a great understanding of what actually happened.
The players would never mislead a coach.
Wow, no, but Janai Broom, as great a player as he is a very, very subpar free throw.
And the second one, though, that he missed them both. Rebound tapped around. Squirts free. Broom ends up with it. He put it on the deck. It's knocked out of bounds, and it'll belong to Florida. Now, we're under the 2-minute mark, so this will be reviewed, and possession is always able to be reviewed once you get under the 2-minute mark in college basketball. And that's what we're going to do right here.
So many guys there on both sides had opportunities to secure that rebound and just couldn't bring it home. And why not? On the biggest stage where we have such a good game, why don't we make one more case for challenges? So here we go.
Ball squirting free.
By rule, under 2 minutes, the out of bounds can be reviewed.
That's what they're reviewing right here. The out of bounds.
It's off Broom's knee, and then it looks like it goes between the legs of Elijah Martin and rolls out of bounds.
Going to be, if it caught anything, it grazed the inside of Martin's pant leg.
I don't think
not
it
by
does.
much, if at all. Download the official NCAA March Madness Live app, and you can listen to the men's and women's Final Four and national championship games for free. Just look for the headphones icon on any live game. And if you're in the car, it seamlessly integrates with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Get the official NCAA March Madness Live app today. Still pouring over this review on the sidelines.
And remember that the initial call was Florida basketball. So in order to overturn it, there's got to be irrefutable evidence. And it's clearly off of Broom's knee, and then I think it whiffs. The ball never changes direction as it rolls under the legs of Elijah Martin. If that did touch, you'd see a change in rotation. I just don't see any way that you can overturn this call.
So most likely this is going to be Florida ball. It's clearly off the leg of Broom underneath. There's no doubt about that. The only question is, did it graze any part of a Florida player? And Roger Ayers?
After review, the ruling on the floor stands, Florida ball.
Yeah, there's no way you could see enough in that to overturn that call. So Florida gets the ball with a 3-point lead and 1:56 to play in the second half.
Well, if you're Auburn here, you have got to be incredibly hooked up on Walter Clayton, because these are the moments where he has shown throughout the NCAA tournament this year. Think about whether it's ball screen, off the ball, whatever it is, your full attention has got to be with Clayton.
He's got the ball, middle of the floor, all eyes on Clayton right now as he brings it up. Around the Houck screen, trying to find some space. Gives it back to Houck on a bounce to a Cutter Richard. Condon swings it back out from the left block, and it goes back to the perimeter. Houck back out, it goes to Clayton. And a golden opportunity. Now Clayton on the drive to the rim. Throws it at the rim. Banks it home. Draws the foul. And a chance for one more at the line. Superman finds his cape again. Florida by 5, 73-68. With 1:33 to go.
He's done it all tournament long. That long step right there gets that contact from Denver Jones. That is such a big-time play. It looked like earlier in the possession, Alex Condon could have scored it at the rim. He kicks it out. Walter Clayton to the rescue again.
Robbie, I know you were thinking what I was thinking. Condon should have shot it. Similar to what happened. He knew, just make a couple more passes and get Walter involved.
Clayton now with 32 points as the free throw is good. Fourth foul on Jones, and Auburn needs some help. Down by 6 with 1:27 to go. Still plenty of time. Broom will bring it over to the right side on Mazzara. Dribbling at the logo, half court. Mazzara brings it around to the right-hand wing. Launches a three. Off the back iron, no. Rebound. Pops out to Elijah Martin of Florida. He cradles it, looking for some help. Dribbles it up the floor. Stops shy of the half-court line and gets it across the timeline. Boy, Martin harassed, trapped at half-court. Ball pops free. Baker Mazzara and Chaney Johnson are there. It's a tie-up, and that'll belong to Auburn. Really good defense on the trap and a turnover back to the Auburn Tigers at a time they needed it the most, down by 6.
I think Elijah Martin has got to get this thing out of his hands. Chaney Johnson is bringing that trap. Chad Baker Mazzara is on the basketball, and he brings it up. He breaks the initial pressure, but as soon as there's 2 on the ball, that thing has got to get out of there.
20 seconds on the shot clock, 1:01 on the game clock. Auburn is down 6. Chad Baker Mazzara will inbound. In it comes to Jones. Jones for Auburn around the Broom screen, finds a path. This is right corner, Baker Mazzara, and he's traveled with it. A shot fake with the defense running out on him, and he came back down, and a travel. He saw Condon flying out on him. He jumped up in the air, and he came back down.
Boy, and honestly, a great set run by Auburn. The Spain pick and roll. You've got Denver Jones getting downhill. He maybe could have taken a layup. He sprays it out there. What a closeout to get out there and get in the vision. Chad Baker Mazzara, that right foot is barely off the ground.
12 second half turnovers for Auburn after 2 in the first half. And now Martin trapped, gets rid of it to Houck, skips it up the floor, the lob to the rim, and it goes through the hands of Condon and knocked out of bounds by Chaney Johnson. They tried the alley-oop from the near side right corner to the left block, and it went through the hands of Condon as Johnson batted it away.
Well, Florida, much better job there of breaking that pressure with the pass, of not messing around with the dribble and getting it up the floor.
Inbound, stolen away, Johnson. And then coming back to get it is Martin. And a tie-up on the floor. And that tie-up will point it Florida's way. And it is Gator ball with 40.4 seconds to play in this one.
PJ, we have not seen great execution on the under out of bounds either way tonight.
But both teams struggle every possession to get the ball in bounds. Smart play there, though, not burning a timeout. by the player.
Absolutely.
He knew it was their arrow, often forgotten in a critical situation.
Especially with only one remaining.
So Clayton will inbound. Left baseline, bounces it to Howe. Dribble, throws it at the rim. He got the bounce. It hopped home, and he drew the foul. They found Howe under the basket. He threw a prayer up. The carom brought it home, and a chance for one more at the line. Gators up 76-68.
Well, Thomas Howe gets the switch right there and somehow bats that basketball down with his right hand. Gets fouled by Baker Mazzara, gets fouled by Broom, throws it up there, and somehow gets it to go.
Free throw no good by Howe. Rebound Chad Baker Mazzara. Auburn in trouble now. He'll launch a quick three, and he'll hit on the right wing. Hits the three. Timeout. Bruce Pearl. Auburn within 5, 76-71. 31.3 seconds to go in this second half. And Auburn, the number 1 overall seed, trying to stay alive. And they get exactly what they needed there with a three.
Well, Will Richard, it's a pretty good defense. I mean, he's right there. And Baker Mazzara just casting that, dribbling to his right, shooting with his left. Good defense from Richard, but better offense from Baker Mazzara.
How resilient are these teams? Auburn looks like they're out of it. They force a turnover at half court. Looks like an and-one opportunity for Florida. Misses another big free throw for the Gators, and they go down and just hit a cold-blooded three. They stay alive.
What's the strategy, guys, here for Auburn as far as the trap, as far as when you foul? What are you looking at timing-wise?
They have to, if they don't steal the inbounds pass, which has become an adventure, by the way, maybe a trap or two, and then you got to put them on the free throw line. Florida has been struggling. If you're Todd Golden, they're saying, this guy, he's got Clayton written on the back of his jersey.
Number 1, I believe.
Get him the ball.
And this is where, if you are Walter Clayton, you're not letting anybody stop you from going to get the ball. You know, it's one of those things where no one's going to deny me. I'm getting a full head of steam. I am catching this ball because I'm going to be the one that makes a play and gets fouled and goes to the line.
He inbounded the ball the last time when they had the inbound on the side. I don't know now in the end line whether they'll have somebody else inbound it and try and get it to number 1.
He has had a phenomenal night. 32 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. His third 30-point game of the season, 5th of his career. And it will be Clayton who will inbound on the baseline.
I guess you could assume here, though, it's going to be one trap and they're not going to foul right away. So if that's the case, he would be the guy getting the ball back.
Clayton looking with Broom in his face, runs baseline and calls Florida's final timeout. Nowhere to go, but because they didn't use the timeout on the tie-up, they had one to use there. Fortunate for the Gators, 76-71 with 31.6 to play as we'll take the timeout with them. You're listening to the Men's Final Four on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
76-71. Bruce Pearl and Todd Golden in their respective huddles trying to work through the final 31.6 seconds of this game. And who do you foul, what do you do, and how long do you take to do it? Those are the questions being asked and answered in these huddles right now.
Well, I think for Florida, this is definitely one of those huddles where obviously you're talking about your timeouts. You don't have any. You're talking about passing and catching, meeting the pass, certainly not putting yourself in a compromising position, but with no timeouts left, you've got to want the basketball. And with Walter Clayton throwing it in, it's on the other 4 guys to say, I'm not being denied. We are getting this thing in.
Well, I'll tell you what, tough decision for Todd Golden, because as much as he would want it in Walter's hands when it's inbounds,
got to get it in.
He's got to get the ball inbounds.
So he's going to line everybody up on the baseline now, and like a fly pattern, they'll run. The inbound comes to Martin. Martin dribbling. He's trapped in the backcourt, trying to get rid of him. That's a tie-up. He got tied up, and it's Auburn basketball. 28 seconds to go. and Auburn gets the basketball back down 5.
Elijah Martin catches it and immediately puts it on the floor. It's 2 dribbles. He picks it back up. It's a great trap by Auburn. It's a disaster for Florida. What a play by the Auburn defense.
Yeah, Baker Mazzara will inbound right baseline for Auburn into the right corner. Kelly's 3 is short. Rebound by Hauk. He's fouled immediately by Broom with 24 seconds to play, and Hauk to the line where he's 2 for 3 tonight.
I'll tell you what, it may get lost in the shuffle looking at the score and the time right now, but I give Auburn a ton of credit for how they handled 3 critical defensive situations when it looked like everything was getting away from them.
We also, PJ, have got to give credit there to Alex Condon because Miles Kelly is coming off that pin down, and he jumps out and contests that shot.
Now Hauk to the line on the season, an 81% free throw shooter. First free throw for Hauk is no good. And a glimmer of hope for the Auburn Tigers down by 5. They still have 2 timeouts remaining. Florida is out of timeouts. Possession arrow favors Florida now on the switch. Second for Hauk, adjusts it and floats it home. 77-71, still a 2-possession game. Baker Mazzara will inbound to Pettiford. Pettiford pats his head, brings it up the floor, exploding quickly. Pettiford all the way to the rim. Oh, it's fouled by Condon. He went up to try to throw that one down, looking for an and one. Condon came over with the challenge, and Pettiford, a 79% shooter, heads to the free throw line with 18.5 to go.
Well, if you're 6'1", which is what Tahan Pettiford is, and you're going to try to challenge 6'11", you better go to dunk it. And that shows the burst and the athleticism there of Tahan Pettiford. What a play.
And Condon fouls out with that foul, his 5th on the challenge of Pettiford. So Condon fouls out with 18.5 to go and a 6-point Gator lead. It was a rough offensive night, certainly for Alex Condon, guys. 0 for 5 from the floor, but his presence was felt more significantly in the second half defensively.
He made some big defensive plays down the stretch, but you think about the offensive numbers, Kevin, this guy had 17, 10, and 4 in the first meeting, and he looks like a totally different player confidence-wise tonight.
It's 3rd team all SEC. There's like 75 teams in the SEC.
And a lot of really good players.
Here's Pettiford at the line. First free throw is good. A 5-point ball game in San Antonio with 18.5 seconds to go. 1 more to go for Pettiford. Pettiford hits them both, and Auburn will use no timeout but a substitution. They'll bring Chaney Johnson in for Pettiford. Again, Florida with no timeouts. They'll line all 5 players up on the baseline. Hand it to their quarterback, Walter Clayton. Clayton looking, inbound comes. Richard gets rid of it to Martin. Touch pass ahead to Hauk. They've got to foul him. Hauk in some trouble and dribbles away from Chad Baker Mazzara with 12.7 to go. Chaney Johnson didn't want to go foul out with his 5th foul, but that let about 4 precious seconds run off the clock.
This worked out for Florida. I don't love Walter Clayton being the inbounder.
I'm with you.
I know that you want to get it in initially, but with the way they've broken the press, I maybe change that up.
They do a little football deal with everybody out of bounds and they run him in. Another missed free throw. You would obviously love to have Mr. Clayton being the man shooting the free throws.
Yeah.
Hauk has missed 1 on each of these 2 trips.
I got a hunch that Todd's seen some of the other players inbound the ball, and he's like, no, I'm not going there.
He's got data to back that up.
Second free throw from Hauk. Missed them both. Rebound. Chimulu of Florida gets it out. Now the ball's in the hands of Clayton, who's fouled with 9.6 seconds to go by Miles Kelly. Auburn got exactly what they wanted, and now a little bit of jawing between these players, Chimulu and Broom, and these SEC rivals engaged in conversation with 9.6 to play.
How appropriate, Kevin, that the 5th best offensive rebounding team in college basketball hasn't been as much of a factor maybe tonight, but with the game coming to a close, 1 more play to make for Florida, an offensive rebound there for Chimulu.
Clayton good on the first free throw. 33 points for Walter Clayton Jr. He has been phenomenal tonight.
Kev, when you interviewed him, you referenced winning time. You asked him, does coach tell you? He said, no, I know when it's winning time.
Yeah, he knows, and it's now. And he's delivered. 79-73. Both free throws good. Pettiford will bring it up the floor. Pettiford launching the quick three. It's off. No good. Clayton saves the rebound. Saves it to Houck. He'll dribble it out. And for the fourth time in school history, and the first since 2007, it's a Florida final. The Gators win it 79-73. They'll play in the national championship game on Monday night. A battle between two SEC rivals, but the fourth time ever that Florida will be in the title game. And Janai Broome, hands on knees, bent over, the emotions pouring out of the man who began his career at Morehead State, dreamed of playing on this stage, falls one game short of his ultimate goal, but battled through a lot of pain after the injury last week against Michigan State just to play in this game, but a little too much Walter Clayton Jr. today. 34 points to pace the Gators in this one.
I mean, you just watch all of his games, and you're like, can he take it to another level? And every game, you're like, yes, he can. Some of the shots he makes in the second half are so high degree of difficulty, elite stuff from an elite player. And you look at the way that Florida played in the second half. They've been capable of making major runs against elite opponents all season long. Second